Wait a minute. Oh, let's move this. I know I'm not. Hold up. Wait a minute. Give me a sec. There we go. Oh no. Oh no. The tall geese? Sorry, you don't know what's happening right now. I forgot to set up my monitor on the desk and... Oh! Everything's going to hell. Give me 1 second to reset up everything visually. And let us get the starting screen down. There we go! Ooh. Sorry. For some reason, the tall geese, which is in a bag, because I just don't care for the real grade tall geese, but the tall geese was, in the way of some things for some reason. Ooh. But welcome, Opus, and welcome anyone else who's here. Blah, 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 blah. Ooh. I regret to inform you, Opus, whatever you deleted, Stream Elements saved it. I regret to inform you. On this day. Oh. Oh wait, no, actually switch it up. Left. Spinning. I think it's because I was going live. I don't think you guys were censored. I think it's because it had like a live feature. But Switch and okay. So Switch and Opus didn't get saved. What happened is you just got censored because stream was going live. Stop saying spin. Stop saying spin. Ooh. So you guys weren't censored. Don't worry. Let us. God, I keep almost hitting the end stream button by accident. That'd be great. Just 2 minutes in, just a 2-minute stream. But we are building the Gei today, and I just want to say this is probably my greatest idea I've ever had of the spinning display, you know, because I don't need to do anything. It's just here you can look at it and be like, okay, this is what we're doing today. Spin, spin, spin. Hey, Switch. Ooh. But this is just what we're doing today. I'm brilliant. This is, you might be like, your greatest idea is to use a spin table. Yes. That's not a really high bar, no, which kind of gives you the feel for this channel. You look at this channel and you're like, yeah, you know what? This is your best idea. Actually, you have a good point there, Mary. But I've done a lot of prep on these parts. Ooh. This is effectively just a glorified upscaled high grade, but it's so small that it's not actually upscaled at all. But that's not an insult, because when I say an upscaled high grade, I mean this is just like a high quality high grade is effectively what a Re 100 is. And this really feels like it was a passion project as I was prepping it. It reminds me of actually the F91. When I built that master grade, I remember saying how it felt like it was, again, a passion project. Like the people who made it weren't like, oh, hey, we have to make this because it's part of our quota, but they're like, hey, it feels like the people who made the F91, they didn't approach it with, we have to make this. They approached it with, we get to make this. And this is the same way, where the designer, it really, you can feel in a Gunpla when the people who made it approached it with the idea of, we get to design this. And I kind of feel like it's already like that. I haven't put anything together yet, and I already have that feel. So I'm really optimistic, which means that it's probably going to go downhill real fast for my track record. Knock on wood. Chat, knock on wood as well. I need the good luck. The Gei has the perfect name for the memes. It has such a great name. Oh my goodness. I was gonna have Freddie Mercury be the thumbnail today, but I just forgot to have time. It's gonna be, if you ever look up Break Free from Queen. Yeah, Break Free. So I always get it confused with Breakthrough. Break free. I want to break free from your lies. Yes, so self-satisfying. I don't need you. I've got to break free. But look up Break Free, and it's just the entire Queen band is just in drag. There's a reason for it. It's because Freddie Mercury was like, I need one music video where we're just in drag. That's why it's happening. And it's amazing. It's amazing seeing just a woman, you know, vacuuming, and it just turns around, and then she turns around and it's just Freddie Mercury with his horse teeth looking back at you, and you're like, oh. See? Oh god. what is it? Rob Taylor in like the schoolgirl outfit gives me nightmares. It's amazing. Oh, welcome, Ivan. Oh, Goof Ignited, Hane Custom getting a revive. Oh, it's a revive. I didn't know that they've already made it before. That's good if there's that is so, that makes me feel so much optimism because that means they're going to be reviving Seed kits. And I'm not the biggest fan of Seed, I've made this clear, but I've always said I feel like Seed got done dirty, especially with the real grades, because a lot of early real grades are Seed kits. So hearing that this is a revive makes me optimistic that the real grades will be revived for those fans of Seed. So again, even though I'm not a fan of Seed, I'm optimistic for those people who are. I don't own anything made of wood, so instead I will knock on aluminum. How do you not own a single thing made of wood? Dude, you need to go antiquing more, dude. You need to go antiquing. Fucking make it go antiquing like it's the 90s, my bro. I can't wait to White Goof Ignited use the Yazak pilot used to pilot the dual Gundam. I'm still waiting for a revived version of the high grade Justice Gundam. Ooh. I'm really hoping, even if it's P Bandai, normally I'm like, don't make it P Bandai, but for Gundam X, with them finally making the Leopard, I'm okay with it being P Bandai, because there's no way they're going to release them any other way. I'm going to be honest with you. But if they do P Bandai of other Gundam X kits, if they do Gundam X kits in any regard, including P Bandai is what I should say, I'm going to be so happy. This is going to be a very long Zatsu. At the start of this stream, we might not build for the first half hour. I'm gonna be real with you. We have a lot to talk about. I was like, why not talk while building? Because I want to focus on the talkies. Let me look at. But there's so many things like the grunt suits from that anime, like. Just if they make anything else, if they just stop with the Leopard, I'd be so disappointed, not surprised. But the fact that they finally made the Leopard makes me hopeful that in some regard, maybe if I believe hard enough, they'll do other kits as well. I don't own much at all, to be honest. Fair enough. Oh, Leopard Gundam with the Gundam Airmaster best combo. Ooh. I don't like the Leopard Gundam as it appears in the anime. I just think its proportions are a little off, but they did the thing that I love, and that is when they make the revive or they make the updated, this isn't a revive, but when they make the updated model, they touch up the proportions so that the Gundam Leopard looks a little less diabetic, to put it lightly. It always looked a little too fat to me in the anime. Like, not only in the line art, but in the anime, it always looked a little too, like, chonky, but in a bad way. Not like hefty, not like I'm a big boy with a lot of guns, but more like I'm a fat ass, you know? My thing is I'm just gonna stay in one place and find my guns. It's like the Heavy from Team Fortress 2, but with none of the personality. No offense. But the new design, the touch-ups to the proportions that they did have me very optimistic of how it will come out. And I will love to put it next to my Gundam Heavy Arms. This is getting caught on everything, isn't it? Mass production new Gundam? Yeah! That's, technically that's the Elite Ali Zeus. Ooh. So, we were just talking about that last Gunpla stream. Ooh. Oh, no, now it's going backwards. Okay. We were just talking about that last Gunpla stream, and it looks like they did pick not the worst option, that we will get the Ali Zeus as a high grade, which surprised me because the model work for it looks so complex that it just surprised me that they're doing that. Do they make the Gundam version Grunt look like 3-Eye Jim? But it's a P Bandai. Ooh, okay, I forget what those are called. Yeah, the 3-Eye Jim. I would love that. Oh, wait, that's a P Bandai, son of a bitch. Well, I would still get it. I love that. That's one of my favorite Jim likes. The Zaku like. There's multiple Zaku likes in in Gundam X, and I love them all. I don't know if there's a single mobile suit that I'm like, I hate. Even suits that I'm like, that's kind of funny, like that really fat mobile suit from the arc where it's just like the one-off pilots. Like, you know, one mobile suit that's literally just has super shields and super armor. That one looks a little funny to me, but I don't hate it or nothing. I just love Gundam X so much. I'm a little upset I didn't have time to watch an episode today. Oh wait, also before we start building, I have to talk about... We have a calendar. Flashbang warning. Look at all that pink. Oh god, you can just feel your ovaries growing in. That's a lot of pink. But this is what we're doing this month, and I thought I would announce it because it's the first stream of the month. But yeah, we're gonna be building the Gei, probably finishing it this week. Even with all the yapping I'm doing, I can't imagine that I won't. Viewer's choice like always, but then on Fridays, they're just effectively guerrilla streams. They're gonna default to KOTOR or whatever we're playing currently, but I'm not gonna hold myself to any one thing on Fridays, unless it's like set in stone, like the Valentine's karaoke. But then we have next week, we're gonna be building what you're gonna vote for. Oh, shoot. That reminds me, I need to actually change the pinned comment. Please tell me I can scroll up still and get that pinned comment. Ooh, no. Oh, I don't want to end poll. What do you... I can't... thank you, YouTube. I cannot... Oh, YouTube. I cannot... I'm really getting pissed off at YouTube right now. Okay, so... I can't... Okay, there it is. So, place pin? Yeah, the gunpla pool. Replace pin. So, okay, yeah. Sorry. Just wanted to do that real quick. And let's bring that back down. And let's continue talking about this month's calendar, because we just have the time to. It is February now. Ooh. Mary, are we gonna have to watch along soon? Watch alongs, we actually have several planned. We don't have dates yet. This month, if I can, I'm gonna try to fit in 1 or 2 watch alongs. No promises. I do want to at least do a watch along of Unforgiven before the rebranding. If not, we can do it in July. I'm not gonna explain further. But we have the Yellow Submarine with Etta. And we have, what is it? The Wall by Pink Floyd with Etta. We don't have dates for those yet, but those are 2 things that both of us are interested in. And then we have something with Atya for Mad God, which is like a stop motion animation made by like one dude. And it's a really good like the guy who was originally going to do the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park before they did CGI. Like, is the guy who made it. So like one of the best stop motion animators in Hollywood history, just for 20 years made his own film, and it's just called Mad God, and it's like a surrealist horror. And Atya's interested in that, but nothing until the latter end of the month. Maybe we can do Char's Counterattack this week, but because it's up on YouTube right now, maybe, but only if I can find other people. Ooh. See here. Currently I'm building the high-grade narrative Gundam Type B equipment. Out of the box, the narrative looks kind of like plasticky, but it looks also like a kit that has a lot of detail where you can make it go that extra distance. I've done a lot of painting, by the way. As you can see, I've just completely painted this. You can't see because that's the calendar. Wait a minute, we're still doing the calendar. You can't see shit, I lied. Okay, but we're doing My Bloody Valentine the next week. I don't know I have no idea what's in the lead for My Bloody Valentine, so I can't be like, I have a guess. No idea. But next week we'll be also releasing the January compilation, so that's all the clips from last week, and some stuff from the reviews as well, just into one master video that should be probably like 5 to 10 minutes. will just be released next week. And that's gonna be fun because I have to re-edit a bunch of shorts. It'll be fun, just editing stuff I've already edited before. Woo! But then the week after, as you can see, we have the Zaku review, because I really want to review the police Zaku, because this is one of my most surprising kits I've had in a while. And then for Lunar New Year, we're going to do the Moon Gundam. We're going to do prep on Lunar New Year's, then the following week we're going to build it. And then we're going to close off Gunplo with probably finishing off the Bloody Valentine kit. Because I doubt we're gonna finish it in 2 streams with prepping. Ooh. And that's the calendar for this for this month. Ooh. And we also have to talk about power lines. Chat has come to my attention. Expose. Okay, don't tell him I told you this, but he has told me that he's not a vampire, chat. He's been faking this whole time. He didn't even know he wasn't a vampire. He was adopted by vampires, but he's not a vampire. He's a dinosaur. Look, you see that on his belt? Welcome, howdy. Welcome, my crow friend. But you see that on his belt? Those are paleontology tools. He has a brush, a paleontology pick. Those are paleontology tools. That's a dinosaur on... Look at that. Wait. Look at the thing on his... Look right there. You see that on his left breast? The left side? You see that? That's a dinosaur skull. And none of us noticed this. until he was going back through his model. He's been a dinosaur VTuber this entire time, just calling himself a vampire. Stop motion is such a... Oh, it is an awesome medium. Oh god, I just realized I left a cardboard box in my oven and I'm preheating. Okay, you don't burn your house down. Okay, I'm back. Luckily the box did not catch fire. Excellent. I knew it. Exposed dinosaurs. Yeah, he's been a dinosaur VTuber this whole time and nobody noticed. It really makes it... He's been like, I'm just like a techno, he thought he was just like a cyberpunk vampire. But no, he's a cyberpunk dinosaur, which is ironic on multiple levels considering what I'm rebranding into. In a way, his model, if you change the hair, would have been the perfect interim model for me while I'm rebranding, unironically. Low-key, he's just been using the model that would have been perfect for me during, like, my rebrand. And he just discovered today. Ooh. But yeah, the truth comes out. He's not a real vampire. He's a phony. Ooh. His parents just lied to him. He's like, he's like that one Irish kid raised by black people. And he's just like, no, I'm black. And then he's just as white as day. And everyone just, for some reason believes it. But yes, the truth comes out. The truth comes out. Also, it makes more sense why his eyes are amber. Because, dinosaurs, amber. Sorry, I didn't mean to just, flash you his cock like I show speed. But it makes a lot more sense why his eyes are amber now. But that's also. But now we can finally get to building. What is this, 20 minutes in? 20 minutes in! I said half an hour. We got through all those topics. Ooh. No, he's not black. That was an analogy. How would you feel if you did not eat breakfast? That's one happy-looking cyber dino. Eee. Oh god, when he told me, I just sent him the Boromir meme of where Boromir says, I would have followed you, my brother. I'm literally rebranding into the inverse of him in color scheme, which is extra funny. Perfect for bird perch. On while she watches out with the haters. Ooh. Herbs are dinosaurs. That is true. No. Dino. There's actually a big question in paleontology if dinos had penises. Did you know that? We actually don't know. And the reason we don't know is because most birds don't have penises. They have cloacas. Most famously, the bird that does have a schlong is the duck. I cannot talk about the duck schlong outside of the fact that it is shaped like a corkscrew. Why is it shaped like a corkscrew? I can't talk about that on YouTube. The only bird species to be recorded practicing necrophilia is the duck. Ducks are freaks. Ducks are menaces. Ducks are just evil. Hello, Kays. Wait, what? Hey, Kays, by the way, you should check out today's short. You clipped it. A lot's happening. Ooh. I just came. Oh, just what? You know what? Whenever I think about duck schlongs, I also come. And the first thing I hear is audio came is that his black. No, don't worry about it. Ducks are down bad. Ducks. That's an understatement. I'm gonna switch platforms. BRB. Oop. I think you actually. Ooh. Sorry. We have no clue, but we know that some dinosaurs had cloacas. No, all dinosaurs had cloacas. It is believed that all dinosaurs had cloacas. But we don't know if, like, ducks, they could, like, seasonally... Because ducks actually lose their schlongs after mating season. So they grow their schlongs, become menaces, and screw anything that moves or doesn't move. Because, again, they are a menace to bird society. And then their penises fall off and they're like, okay, I'm cool now. You know, I'm not gonna try to screw everything that moves. I am no longer P. Diddy. Does you know, for a couple months out of the year, ducks just become a whole genus of P. Diddies, and it's a horrible thing. Ooh. Let's see, a buddy of mine used to own ducks, and yeah, they were some evil... Oh yeah, they also can just be pricks. Ooh. They can just be pricks in general as well, to be honest. So here is our stuff, and actually I want to start doing something with this stream, and that is, so I don't lose pieces, we're gonna pour our pieces into this little tray. It's actually a lid, but... Now you can see the pieces really well, because, I mean, ooh, you got a nice bronze contrast, but also I don't have to worry about things rolling off. It only took me, like, you know, like a year of building to realize to use a tray of some kind. I know, you're proud of me, you know? Ooh. It was all, I thought it was just, most of them. I don't know if it's like 100% of ducks, but yes, it's like they're menaces. Listen, I don't know like if it's all waterfowl, but I've never heard of a duck that isn't a menace, that isn't just the worst creature to ever evolve. But when birds do reproduce and they don't have schlongs, what it's called is a cloacal kiss, which sounds so messed up, because it's like kiss and that's so gentle, but then like you think about what's happening and you're like, that's disgusting. Reproduction is just disgusting. You know what? Knockout from Transformers had it right. It is just fleshy's interfacing is just it is no thank you. Sadly, I am a fleshy, so I sadly. So I want to interface, but when you really think about it, it's vile. Ooh, let us get some... We have not done this in a fair while. Let's get out some lighter fluid, chat. It's that time of stream again. For the lighter fluid, hold your breath so you don't get toxic fumes. Oh. They're finally releasing a proper high-grade leopard. Talking about high-grade goof ignited revive, I just hope it's gonna be a non-polycap build. Oof, I do too, but the leopard and I don't know about. I think the goof probably won't be a polycap build unless like there's already a custom, unless it's a recolor. But the leopard, I'm really wondering, because the leopard was probably designed along the same time as the Airmaster and as the Gundam Double X. So it probably will be a polycap build, even though it's such a more recent build. It was probably designed back then and they just didn't have a window to release it. They wanted to release other things and it was just at the bottom of their list, which is really sad to say, but that's probably just the case. They probably were looking at it and it's just like, when we have an open slot, we'll throw the leopard in. Because they do that with so many kits at Bandai. So many kits are just like, yeah, we have them designed, we're just gonna sit on them for like the next 5 years. Oh, just finished ordering your high-grade Black Knight Cavalry. And, oh, isn't that on the... Wait, I don't even know what the poll is. Isn't that on the poll? Isn't that one of the poll options for the next build? I make these polls. I should really know this. And G Gundam, when the Bandai announcement came out. So what you're saying is that it was timed perfectly for you to be too poor to buy anything else. Ain't that just the way? The Leopard probably gonna share some runners in high-grade Leopard. Da Vinci from Build Fighters. Ooh. Maybe, I don't know how... That might actually be it. They might have redesigned it, kind of shuffled it out as a high-grade Leopard Da Vinci. Looked at any flaws in it, kind of used that as a prototype, and then they're gonna release it in full now. So you're probably right on that. Bandai kind of works both ways with their build kits, where they can be either like 1.5s or prototypes, depending on when they come out. Or they can just be awful sometimes. Sometimes they're just like, yeah, we're gonna re-release this kit, but with like inferior plastic and just make everything worse and low budget. In all honesty, it's really schizophrenic. As much as I love a lot of products, they make a kind of... I kind of hate Bandai as a company. Oh, that's miniatures in general, bro. If you don't hate the company, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong, is all I'm gonna say. If you don't hate the company, you're doing it wrong, my dude. Even if it's for the most petty, small reason, like, you know what, this one kit that they would have no reason to release, this mobile suit from, like, you know, Gundam X that was, like, in 5 seconds of footage, you know, the out-of-date mobile suit that the General pilots in the Estardo arc, or whatever that country's called, you know, and you're like, the fact that they're not releasing that, you know what, screw them for that. It's like, that's like a one-of-a-kind kit that, like, you know, why would they ever release it to begin with, even on P Bandai? And it's like, screw them, how dare they? That General was based. That General was one of the coolest characters in that anime. He was there for like 1 or 2 episodes, for like 2 or 3 episodes. And he was cool as hell. Give us his mobile suit. If you don't have some random reason to hate Bandai, are you really a Gunpla fan? Also, I think it was Neon Wave, but I don't want to give credit to the wrong person, but whoever said get toothpicks, thank you. Very based, very correct of you. Because I've been using toothpicks for the painting to clean up the painting on this, and this was freehand. This right here was like, these were freehand. These Verniers were freehand. Let me, if I can show you. As you can see in this, let me see if I can get the reflection on it. Oh, come on. This was freehand. Almost all of the painting on this was freehand. And it was because of the toothpicks that I was able to pull it off. So thank you very much. I found a video on when I learn about Duck. Bandai needs to produce more Brave kits. They need to produce a lot of things. How dare they not release my beloved 7-Eleven Gundam kit in the USA at an extremely discounted price? You see, that's now you're getting it. Now you're getting it. Okay. Also, next week we're gonna have a guest for streams. Not really, but my brother's dog Victory. I'm gonna be looking after him. Ooh. And I'm really excited about that. Because he is a very good dog, and he puts my dog down very much because he's bigger than my dog. So whenever my dog gets uppity, he just puts him down. So I'm just happy that, you know, my dog is gonna be put in his place. And okay, so we did the first assembly and we already messed up. Awesome. We are off to a great start. Oh, where's my part separator? Oh, we are off to a great start. Ooh, actually, I forgot to put in this piece, and it goes right here. So concerned talking about dogs, I forgot to put in a piece, but it looks like I might be able just to pry this open with my bare hands, and those are Vernairs that I did not notice. Are those Vernairs? What am I looking at? I guess they are Vernairs. They're just the same color. That's annoying, because that means I'm gonna have to, like, disassemble this after stream to paint those, then reassemble it off stream. I'd even notice that. But yeah, this kit's pretty easy to take apart if you mess up. Ooh. Yeah, doggo. Ooh. Oh, this information is not yet confirmed. I heard through my connections. My dad works at Bandai. My connections that the bootleg industry Den'an is process of copying the the new and got their hands on the Perfect Grade Unleashed new the other day. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Let's see here. Welcome, Zaza. It generally pisses me off. I don't want to pay some eBay dude. You don't want to pay a scalper from Japan 70 for it when Bandai could release it here for like $2 so I can buy 30. Is it an entry grade or is it a real grade? I don't know how hyperbolic you're being with that price. Because if you're like, ooh, if it's an entry grade, yeah, like they could release that crap for like $5. It'd be more like 10. Shut up, I don't care. You know, I said that you can separate this quite easily, but it is not separating on the top. There we go. I'm having to be a little cautious, but not too cautious. This plastic's really soft, but nice quality. So even if you don't have a part separator, you can take it apart fairly easily. Let's see here. That is always good. One of my favorite things about being such a bad builder is that I get to rate things on how well how idiot-proof the kit is. This kit passed with flying colors on the first mistake. Ooh, and actually it looks like there's a little bit of a mark. That's from me. There's a little bit of a mark, but I'm sure that, no, that's not going to come through at all. So what do you think? Gundam, you know what? I'm going to start calling it that. Gundam Arceus. You know what? Arceus is probably derived from the same name as Errol Zeus or whatever it's called. Ooh, Ali Zeus. It's probably, you know, honestly, they're probably the same name. Now that you say that, they're probably the same name, just like translated slightly differently, because how the Japanese deal with syllables and like the letter L and R. It is fucking Arceus. Oh my god, if you heard a fucking Japanese person say it, it would probably sound like Arceus, wouldn't it? That is a good catch, Zaza. So imagine 12-year-old me randomly stumbled upon my YouTube page. That'd be crazy if you as a 12-year-old stumbled upon your own YouTube page that you made when you were older. That'd be, you might want to look into, like, you might want to call Doc Brown or something, or whatever his name is. That's not Doc Brown. Listen. Did you take a ride in a DeLorean with a with a kooky old man? Let's see here, and then so this goes like this, and then to paint this kit, I had to get in so close to paint some of these parts. Like I had to get. Oh no, that's not right. Like hold it like this, and then put it on like this. There we go. I had to get like just like this close with my face to paint some of these parts. Ooh. It doesn't have a lot of color separation, but it has a lot of room, but it has a lot of leniency for you to add it yourself. Okay, so 7-Eleven Gunpla I want is high grade, but I'm just unreasonable. Ooh, high grade would still be like, was in America, so more like 30, but like it wouldn't be that pricey. It's not unreasonable. You deserve everything. So let's put these on. I decided to keep these red, but I wanted to change this more to be red like the line art. Actually, it wasn't intentional, but the khaki on this is... It was intentional kind of while I was doing it, but the khaki was because I thought I didn't want to do too much bronze, so I thought a happy medium between the green and the bronze would be khaki, which is correct. But I got the khaki actually because I realized I don't have khaki paint. I don't have a nice light off brown. And the reason I realized this is because the line art for the Den'an Gei is khaki. The line art looks nothing like the in animation model, you know, go figure. But it's a nice khaki instead of green in the line art, and that reminded me to get khaki. So I kind of ended up making this using the khaki as a bit of an illusion. Like I was gonna use it very sparingly, but then I was like, oh wait a minute, the original line art has a lot of khaki in it, so I just kind of started using it as a bit of an homage to the line art of all things. To me, I feel that like mass production New Gundam is my favorite design of the OG New Gundam. I don't know why, but I feel like down to earth more than the big armor. Nice. I can see it. It's not for me, as I've said many times. Like the original New Gundam, I think is just the perfect design for, like, you know, you go Gundam Mark II New Gundam. It's just, that was a horrible chef kiss. That is a chef kiss perfect. But the mass production New Gundam, it has more of those like I don't want to say rounded, but like sloped angles of more, I kind of want to say like not classic Gundam, but it has more of that like chonky sloped nature of some of like other Gundam designs, of like the other side of Zeta Gundam, I'd want to say. Actually, it's like where Zeta Gundam has a lot of those like more grounded designs, which the new Gundam in Char's Counterattack builds off of. There's also more of those kind of like thicker, chonkier like art designs in it, and I feel like the mass production builds off of those, so it feels organic. It still feels very organic as an evolution from like the Gundam Mark II, from the Zeta designs. So I can definitely see why somebody would like it. There's actually a few different 7-Elevens branded Gunpla. What is 7-Eleven? Like the Kit Kat of Gunpla? The Japanese Kit Kat of Gunpla? Decided to keep these red because I just thought it would look nice. I thought it would help stand out. And then, let's see here. We plug this in here. Right? Ooh, no, we're doing it backwards. This goes here. Oh, there was a lag. I meant the video in Stream Talk, maybe. You have watch it? Oh no. Because I've not been keeping Stream Talk open because I'm a fool. Stream Talk? Oh, scientifically accurate DuckTales. No, I don't want to watch that. Oh god, I'll have to mute it. Animation domination ADHD. See here. What piece goes? Okay, so this piece goes in here. Yeah, it looks like these are Verniers, but I might just have to accept that. Not painting them. I might come back later, but it doesn't look like too big of a deal, but I just might not want to do it. Yeah, I can't show that on stream. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way I can show that on stream. There's no way. Ooh, how would you feel about a Zazabi mass production show? I don't know how I'd feel about a Zazabi mass production, because it was Char's personal sue, and you might be like, oh, so was like the new Gundam for Amuro, but the new Gundam, the Federation, I can see going like, let's mass produce this and make it like a super machine. I can't see Hathaway or whatever faction, you know, making mass production Zazabis. I feel like the closest you could get to that is the Mesher. And the Mesher is not a mass production Zazabi. It's something. It's more like something in between the Zazabi and the Geara Doga, to be honest. With some advances along the way. Oh wow, there is a lot of prep I am appreciating right now. And, well, I say appreciating, I'm actually not appreciating it. Because there's vents right here that I could have painted. And so... I'm not sure how I'm gonna handle this. I might... you know, I was saying I might take this apart after stream. I might just do that. Just build all this on stream just to take it apart again. Sounds so stupid. Hold up. That sounds stupid even for me. I'm going to paint these parts. Thing is, should I just paint these parts black, or should I repaint the outsides as well? No huevos. To be fair, Amuro did not pilot the Mark II, so the Regeze instead of Mark II before the new Gundam. Yeah. So you had to watch it before. This is how I passed my science class. Oh, so you watched that all the... Okay. Well, you just fuck it. You didn't know out of age, Doctor. We now know your minimum age because you said you were 12. I don't want to break it to you. Someday I want to buy a random entry grade and paint it to be Taco Bell colors. I have an immense need to deface something. You saying that just made me realize, if they ever release a Neo Mexico Gundam, if they ever release the Tequila Gundam, there are gonna be people making Taco Bell Gundams. There's gonna be so many Taco Bell custom Gundams. If they ever release that, Bandai, stop being cowards, release the Tequila Gundam. I never thought about people customizing it until this moment. So many people are going to make like Speedy Gonzalez, like Tequila Gundams. It's gonna go off the rails immediately. Bandai, release the Tequila Gundam, so help me God. So help me God, you need to release it. Stop being cowards. Let's see here. Natural steel. Supposed to be a building stream, it's just turning into more of a prep stream again. We're preppies, chat. Get used to it. Okay. What's funny, and DuckTales got removed, but the 14 other scientifically accurate animals he made still around. Examples of Cat Dog, Barney the Dinosaur, and Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, I don't think those ones included, you know, forceful fornication, to put it lightly. Ooh, ducks are a little bit extra. Life on the outside ain't what it used to be. Do. World's gone crazy and ain't safe on the streets. Okay. Don't know why I was singing Super Jail. Cheeseburger is that song I was singing. It is the opening to Super Jail. Very good song. I will be the Taco Bell Gundam man. They had... I still can't believe it took me until like a few months ago to realize that the Tequila Gundam has a mustache. Jesus Christ. And it just made me love it all the more. Ooh, they better make another Gundam. Oh god, dude. Listen. The Maxter, Rose Gundam, and whatnot should never have been P Bandai. They should have been mainline releases. But if they do not make... You know what? It'd be hilarious. You know what? No. No. Nether Gundam shouldn't be P Bandai. Everyone's gonna buy the Nether Gundam. Don't make it P Bandai. Don't be cowards. Sell the Nether Gundam high grade. The Nether Gundam. I always get Netherlands flag confused with France's flag. Patron Tequila. Yeah. I want my windmill Gundam. The fact that it uses its windmill in an attack is just wonderful. Ooh. And it's not like, oh, they're like, you know, a blade or a shield. No, he has a wind attack. It pushes wind. It's just a fan. The way you think it would be used is like, yeah. Yeah, like this is back in the 90s. They weren't ashamed of being like, it has a big fan on its chest, have it push wind. Nowadays, it'd be like, that's stupid. It has to be like blades. Actually, this is like what a Westerner would say. They'd be like, it'd be stupid to make it push wind. It'd have to be like, you know, it'd have to be like spin fast and be like, you know, like a food processor or something, like a blender. No. It moved fast, it pushed wind, it pushed other Gundams over with wind. Dumbass. That's the difference between like the Japanese and the modern like American mindset, is that like the Japanese can still be like, time for whimsy. The American cannot comprehend whimsy. Everyone's so cynical in like modern media in America. They have a mermaid Gundam, that's true. And the Netherlands Gundam as the set action figures from the early 2000s, that's true. So you're saying that scientific accurate dolphin isn't the same? I don't know if dolphins do forceful fornication is the thing. They do it on people. There's a whole King of the Hill episode about them doing it on people. But I don't know if they do it to each other. They just are really randy. I think I don't know. For dolphins, I don't know if they're like being forceful about it. I think they're both just randy. But maybe they are the worst little creatures imaginable. Maybe dolphins are also terrible. They can't kill everything like orcas, so they just settle for screwing everything over in a different, more literal way. I saw a video today which was like, oh hey, there's a big black shark that terrorizes the ocean and it eats whales. And I'm like, so an orca? No. And it's just like, no, that's an orca. No. They're like, it's not an orca. Dude, you can't be like, here's something that kills other sharks and eats their livers. That's literally what orcas do. It's not an orca, we promise. It's literally, it eats whales, it eats the livers of sharks. It's an orca. Oh, it goes in like packs. It's like, that's just an orca. Not an orca, we promise. Listen, we just said it an orca, then we couldn't call it a cryptid. Well, maybe you shouldn't be calling it a cryptid if it's such an orca. Yeah, wind beat sword, duh. Oh, goodness. Boromir, you are my brother. Ooh. But of all things, I have updates for you people. Sorry for that. While at the gym today, I kind of hurt myself a little. I pulled like the muscle on my scapula, I think. And oh my god, was it painful for like the first hour. I was at the gym, I was doing like lifts, and I turned my head to look at something a little too fast, and I was like, I am no longer. It was like at the start of my workout too. I was on the second machine of the day, and I was like, I guess I'm just not working out for the rest of today and possibly the rest of the week. And it might be like, you can still do leg workouts. I went to leg raises, chat. I like literally, I just skipped the next machine for arms and I went to legs. And doing a leg exercise was still painful because my muscle was so messed up that leaning back in the chair to do the like leg raises, the calf raises, nearly made me scream out in pain in the middle of the gym. I complete my sets, don't worry. Like I still completed my sets on that machine, but after that, I just walked out of the gym, went to my car, and just yelled for a solid minute. Because, and I didn't yell because I was like, and I yelled because when getting into my car, I had to like bend my head to my left side so that I could get my head like into my car because I am, you know, because I have a long torso or whatever. So I had to like, you know, you have to like, you know, bend over to get into your car. And that little bend was so painful that I just shut my car door and yelled for a solid minute and then just drove to the pharmacy and just got some painkillers. I'm just like, yeah, this is just gonna be a bad day. I thought I might have to cancel stream. It was so bad. Orca Mark II, yeah. Wait, better idea. Bandai released the real grade nether. Yes. Ooh. Try to lift a RGM. Oh god, I just looked while in the middle of a lift. I just turned my head while in the middle of a lift and just hurt myself. Something awful. Do not do that. But the weird update I have for you is the DoorDash. Okay, so there was a case in the US a few months ago where a woman claimed that she was harassed by a customer on DoorDash, and it's like, oh, what happened? The guy had ordered Wendy's like at midnight and then fallen asleep before it was delivered. And so the woman allegedly opened up the door into his house and recorded him with his pants down and then posted that online, which is very illegal. And allegedly, there is doorbell footage of her opening the door now. Ooh, and it was so bad that it went from like a county court to a district court, which means that now it's like a felony and now she can get up to 8 years. She's not going to get 8 years, but she can now get like almost a decade in jail because like how much she messed up. And she's still on social media going, I'm the victim. I'm the one who's like, I am the one who is the victim here. And it's just like, woman, you don't want to be posting this on like, this is like worse in court. And on the first court hearing, she was like, I don't want the media here. This should be a closed like court case. And the judge just looked at her and went, oh, so now recording is bad. Keep the cameras. And it's just like based judge. Based the fact that the judge just went like, no, no, you can't record a man naked, post it online, and then be like, oh, hold up. I'm being held accountable and also am being like recorded. No, that's not cool. Oh goodness. But yeah, she I mean, let me put it simple how bad it is for her. She's using a public defender. She's so delusional that she's like, no, I don't need to get like I don't need to get a good lawyer and spend money. No, I'm just gonna use the public defender. I'm just gonna, if you don't know, in the US, a public defender is a lawyer who either has a heart of gold and wants to work for the benefit of the people, you know, at the least cost to himself, or, more often the case, he is a lawyer who is too shit to work at a firm, so he works for the government instead. That is what a public defender is most of the time. Not all the time, but enough of the time where if you just don't get a public defender. Okay, because it's a statement of this is somebody who cannot work for an actual law firm, who cannot earn money working as a lawyer, so he works for the government instead. Don't go for public defender. If you can avoid a public defender, avoid it. And she's just like, no, I'm just gonna stick with the public defender. And it's like, well, we already knew you had bad decision making. Yeah, 90% of the time. You get a heart of gold like 1% of the time, but the rest of the time it's just like, you've made it. It's just like they're not here because of the goodness of their heart. They're here because nobody else would accept them. Not in rural. Fair enough. In rural areas, that's not true. Ooh. It depends where you are in America. Is true. Let's see here. Public defenders are just regular lawyers where I'm from. That is true. A lot of times, public lawyers will be one of two things. They'll either be like there's two ways to do it. Either they're a government employee and they're a bureaucrat, which is pretty much not the way you want it. Or what the government does is that they pretty much hire a lawyer for you. So it's still a private defender. It's still somebody who has a record to upkeep, who will, because if you don't do well as a lawyer, you won't be hired more. And in that case, that's good. When they actually hire a lawyer for you and the public defender is somebody who still has a record to upkeep. Ooh, that's a good case of it. I'm talking about worst case scenario though, but you are right. Public defender suck. I had one and he was incompetent. Ooh. It's kind of like there's two ways. You know what? I'm going to use an analogy. There's two types of public defenders. There is public school public defenders where it's like, this is the defender you get. Screw you, you don't get a choice. And then there's school voucher public defender where it's like, okay, you might not get a choice in public defender, but you do get effectively freedom. Like you're not going to like be given the public school version. You're going to you can attend the private school if you want, and the government will give you a voucher for it, quote unquote. This is an analogy. It's not one-to-one. But there's different ways to go about it, and the latter one is definitely better. Lawyer choice is better than public lawyer. Let's put it like that. My public defender was so lazy. He literally told me to just say, let things play out, and it didn't work too well. Whatever. I don't think I had a good public defender. Why? He was just rolling doobies the entire time, man. Right in front of the judge too, and the judge just was like, yeah, just one of those days. Let's see here. Oh, God. Actually, this might be the perfect time. Actually, it is for me to switch out the poll. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to switch out the poll real quick for the viewer's choice, because that's I actually have a topic for it. It might be like, we're kind of behind on building. Don't worry, this is effectively a high grade. We're going to build, like, all of it. Like, we're going to be done with it this week. Unless stream crashes, we're going to be done with it this week. So if you're thinking we're making very slow progress, don't worry about it. It don't matter. None of this matters. In the world, what's Carl's last name from Aqua Teen Hunger Force? Wait a minute. Does Carl have a last name? I don't know. Okay. So let's go to stream, your channel. Let's go to posts. Let's go to viewers choice, copy, and let's switch out the poll. Oh, no, not the poll. Sorry. Wrong thing. We should also end the poll, but we should put vote early Vote often. Bitch, this place is Chicago. Okay. So here you go. This is the viewer's voice. So I'm gonna pin that. Place pin message. Okay, and let's end the poll as well. So Goof Knighted tied with the Leopard Gundam for most anticipated. That's surprising, because I don't really know how popular like Seed is in general, but like I don't really know how popular like the Goofs and Zakus are from Seed in all honesty. So it's nice. It's interesting to see that. Not a lot of people looking forward to the Alizeus or whatever it's called, or the Kshatriya, which is a little surprising. The Kshatriya is the one I'm looking most forward to, just because it's probably going to be better. It is going to be better than the high-grade Kshatriya. It is going to be so much better than the high-grade Kshatriya, and it's probably the closest we're going to get to a master grade for a while, even still. Oh, but it's going to be a little diabetic. He's going to be a little mini-me Kshatriya. I'm looking forward to that one the most. But the Leopard's the one I'm looking forward to the second most. Just because it's just a Gundam with a bunch of guns. What's not to love about it? I think he said the last name, but don't remember it. I think, yeah, there's, there are a few episodes where they do say the last name. You're right about that. It has been many months since I bought my first and only master grade Gunpla, and I still have not finished it. Mostly because I'm lazy. Gandalf, it's been many years. You're like, sorry, not Hobbit. You're like Frodo in the books for Lord of the Rings, where in the movies, he gets the ring and he's just off to Mordor. Or actually, he's off to Rivendell, but you know what I mean. The quest is off immediately. In the books, it's like, okay, here's the ring, Frodo. And Frodo's like, cool. And then he just holds on to it for a couple of years. And then it's like, oh, hey, maybe we should, like, get that, like, ring out of the Shire. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna do that. And then he encounters a guy named Tom Bombadil. And this is like a complete non sequitur. Reading the Lord of the Rings books when you've only seen the movies is very fun, because there's so much just stuff that happens in the books that just, it's handled like an epic. It's handled like an old mythological epic. So there's just a lot of things that just happen in it. And you just see every step of the journey. You might be like, even the parts where they're just walking and doing nothing. Yeah. Is it good? Yeah, actually, it's really good. Yeah, you might think this them walking through a field might be boring, but no, it's very good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. But pretty sure, was technically the first VTuber. Wait, what? Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. What did my chat go through? Carl Brutanana Diluski. Ooh. That's probably how you say it. Carl's the first VTuber? Why? What qualifies Carl? Did he do streams? They might have done streams with Carl. Well, you never know with Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Oh yes, it's fun as hell. I just love when Frodo puts on the One Ring in front of Tom Bombadil. And it is important because it establishes things that predate the One Ring can see past the One Ring, which is why the Nazguls can see through it. Not simply because they're servants of Sauron, but because they predate the One Ring. But I just like it. Like, the first use of the ring, I think, might be at that point by Frodo. He just casually uses it just to, like, you know, be like, you know, Tom Bombadil's talking mad smack. I'm gonna use the ring and make him like be like, oh my god, that guy just went invisible. So he puts on the ring, and then Tom Bombadil just goes, bitch, I can still see you. And he's just like, what? Ooh. I do love in Rivendell in the books. I need to reread the books, but in the Rivendell in the books, they're just like, they actually bring up Tom Bombadil, and like Frodo's like, wait a minute, I met this guy named Tom Bombadil. Why don't we just give the one ring to him? Because he seems like he's not like drawn towards it at all. He seems incorruptible, in fact. Like, why don't we give it to him? And Gandalf's just like, because he wouldn't be corrupted by it, but that's because he doesn't give a shit. He has nothing to draw him in, like, he has nothing to like draw him to the ring because he is satisfied in his life. He has a 10 out of 10 wife. He's just walking through the woods all day singing songs. He is content in life, and he does not care. If you gave him the one ring, he'd just throw it in like a drawer and just be like, okay, yeah, and just forget about it. That's what would happen if you gave it to Tom Bombadil. Like, the rest of the world would be burning, and Tom Bombadil would just be skipping through his forest, still singing his songs. The, like, age of man would fail. You know, all of humanity would be enslaved to Sauron, and just Tom Bombadil would still just be in his in the one bright, you know, forest in the entire, you know, Eastern lands. I shouldn't say Eastern lands because the Easterlings, but you know what I mean. Just in all of Middle Earth, just skipping, being like, I'm gonna go see my wife. I'm so happy. It's just like he wouldn't give a shit. I hate to break it to you, just we wouldn't give a shit. I love in Battle for Middle Earth, is it what it's called? The RTS game, the real-time strategy game. You could actually summon Tom Bombadil. It's in the second game. You could summon, Tom Bombadil was a summon, and he was just effectively as strong as Sauron. Like, if you get the one ring, you can make Sauron if you are, you can make Sauron if you are, like, one of the bad guy factions, you know? If you get the one ring, because there's this Gollum is on the map somewhere. If you're the good guys, you make Galadriel, but if you can just make Sauron. But Tom Bombadil is literally as strong as Sauron. Like, he's just, instead of like, you know, just walking slowly and being like, you know, a 9-foot menace, just hitting people with his mace and just knocking everyone away, like knocking 20 units away at a time. Tom Bombadil's just this fat dude just going, like skipping around, and then you have him attack a unit, and he just uppercuts the unit like it's a Smash Bro game, and they all go flying. Tom Bombadil was one of the best summons in the game. He was so much fun, because he'd just be skipping around, singing do-do-ba-do, and then he just do a Mario uppercut and just take out an army, and you're like, whoa. He did a live stream on YouTube about sports. So I guess wait a minute, when was the live stream? Because it might have been pretty early on, and if it was pretty early on, then people were always like, oh, this is the first or whatever VTuber. If he did that in like 2015 or something, I'm pretty sure that predates everyone. Because some people are like, oh, there was one like, you know, like mascot dude who like streamed in like 2016. When did it happen? When did it happen? Necro News did a thing about it. Okay. Strongest man in all the Middle Earth. Yeah, pretty much. And I was just like, why won't he help anyone? Because he's happy. He's happy doing his own thing. He doesn't want to get involved in anything. He doesn't want to get involved in politics. He just wants to, you know, he just wants to grill. He is the ultimate. He's the ultimate embodiment of that. Ooh. And it's like, he doesn't want to get involved in politics. It's literally Sauron's gonna wipe out, like, he's gonna enslave humanity and wipe out the elves. He just wants to skip through the forest. And I'm just like, I can feel that. Rest of the world collapsing in on itself. Meanwhile, I'm just watching a fucking Tomoe Umari stream, and she's just being a silly horse girl. Oh, that reminds me. Somebody actually tried to cancel Tomoe Umari over the weekend. It was, of course, a femboy, which further proves that femboys are inferior to tomgirls. Actually, no, sorry. Tomboys. Femboys are also inferior to tomgirls, but tomgirls are different. But femboys are inferior to tomboys, and he just couldn't stand it, so he tried to cancel Tomoe Umari. He was like, Tomoe Umari isn't political enough. Like, how dare she be, you know, an active military service member and not speak against the government? And it's like, first things first, if you're active service military and you start like saying political shit and taking sides, you can actually get fired from the military. You can get discharged from the military, not the most honorable way. First and foremost, which is like a... So you're literally saying, hey, Tomoe Mari, why don't you lose your job? Regardless of what she says. She could be like, I like this thing or I dislike this thing. She could literally be fired either way. First things first. And secondly, she's made it perfectly clear she wants to have a place to, like, you know, be... She doesn't want to be a political streamer. She wants to have a place where her and her audience can just feel comfortable and disengage with the stresses of life. That's why she's there, and she makes a place for her audience for that. So having some guy who's just like, oh, how dare... It's literally just like, I hate... It's the meme of like a guy who's like, I hate, I hate that person. Like, they're the worst thing ever. And then it's just the comic where it's like the guy's like thinking that, and the person he's hating is just like a normal person. It's just like a normal average person. Tomoe Mari indirectly addressed it, but her fans literally ratioed the guy. The guy closed his comment section because people were making fun of him because he made a video about it. And he closed the comment section on his video because people were roasting him in the comments. It was really funny. There were like, there were dozens. There were a dozen, if not dozens, of replies that were ratioing his video. That's bad. He was getting ratioed multiple times over. Don't insult the tomboy horse girl. You're gonna have a bad time. 2010ish. That beats everyone else by a country mile. I wish to have that. Oh, dude, everyone wishes to be Tom Bombadil. Just smoking on his pipe weed, skipping through the forest. Oof. I think a guy named Ted wrote about how like that's literally the best life ever. I don't know. I could be wrong there, but I think a guy named Ted wrote a book about it. That's what that book was about, right? It was about how Tom Bombadil is the most based character in fiction, right? That's what Uncle Ted was writing about. In between mailing pipe bombs. Let's see here, and let's paint these parts now. Let's get the black out. Where's my black paint? Oh, there it is. Speaking of which, did you see that Brandon Herrera? I didn't even look at the second line. I just assumed you were saying Brandon Herrera when I saw Brandon video where I don't watch Brandon Herrera videos, but he's a pretty cool guy. Gun tuber trying to, you know, make change as best he can. I respect it. Where there was a Texan patent back in the 1800s for a mouse rat trap with a revolver attached to it. I've seen those. I actually found about that. I know about that, but not by Brandon Herrera. I know about that because I used to watch a video was like Mousetrap Mondays, and it was just a farmer in like Washington, the state, not the capital, in Washington, or some, I think it was Washington, or is the Pacific Northwest. And he was just like, I have a lot of rats, so I'm just gonna make videos about like different rat traps and how effective they are. And then he started getting into vintage rat traps. And then one video he's just like, so I found this like patent for like, cause he started just looking for rat traps patents. And it's like, so I just found this patent and it's just a revolver it's just like a revolver attached to like a trigger mechanism for a rat trap. So if it takes the cheese, it just gets shot with like a 44 caliber. And I don't think he made a video on it because it would have been too graphic. Actually, he didn't even show like he couldn't show the kills anymore because Logan Paul controversy made it so he couldn't show like the traps being used. He could just show them being set up and the aftermath because of, you know, Logan Paul being a piece of shit and literally torturing animals on stream. His traps were not torture traps. If they were kill traps, they were kill traps. If they were drowning traps, he wouldn't actually drown them. What he'd do is he would, actually pretty cool. If they were drown traps, he would just like make it so that he'd catch them. He'd find the like invasive species, separate the invasive species, kill them off camera, then release the non-invasive species. Pretty cool dude. Ooh. Don't know if he still makes stuff. Welcome Zazabi. We've been on a lot of tangents. Sorry if I missed your first chat or two. People who close comments can't handle, no, they can't. They can't. It's like closing replies on Twitter, and people would be like, the quotes are still active. Like closing replies, what that tells people is, oh, I guess I have to check the quotes. And the quotes are never, listen, somebody in the replies calling you an idiot, I'd rather have that than having a quote of somebody using a meme to give me a new sphincter. Yeah, don't insult tomboys. Like literally, don't insult the tan tomboy. Tan tomboy, military horse girl with 10 out of 10 abs. She doesn't have an 8-pack, she has a 10-pack, because that shit's 10 out of 10. You just... Oh god, like of all the people. But it also just shows how miserable you have to be. But also, that's the point. These people, they don't want her to make a action. They don't really care what Tomoe has to say, one side or the other. They don't expect Tomoe to come out and be like, oh yes, and parrot what they have to say politically. What they want is to pretty much take away any escape. They want it so that wherever you go, there is some kind of like moral, political, or social thing you have to talk about. Which is why people like Tomoe Umari and Pipkin Pippa, even though they could very easily talk about political things, they don't. Because they don't want to fall into that trap. They want people to fall into that trap of making everything political, everything a matter of like topics like that. So that way it's inescapable and people get drowned and people get like more and more tired of it. It's a way to like, well, effectively black pill. It's a way to demoralize people. Okay? And the best solution is just don't fall to it, effectively. Like you need to like counter it where possible, but like that people do that on their own. For people like Pippa and Tomoe, and I try to do this as well. I'm not as good at it because we're talking about it right now, for example. But for them, they want to talk about fun things. And so they do, because they want the escapism. They want the place where you can just disengage and have that breather. And they want to provide a space for other people to also have that breather. And that's very important psychologically. I like both tomboys and femboys, but if you act an asshole, expect to get clapped, absolutely. It kind of depends on the femboys. I do not like I'm good with tom girls and like femboys who are effectively tom girls, which is just what that means is just a guy who has feminine traits. I don't like the femboys who insist upon themselves, and I feel like I don't need to explain more. The ones who literally are just insistent, like it's not a matter of fact, it's a performance. That's the ones I don't like. Because it's just insincere either way. Ooh. It's funny you brought up, you used to be a neighbor of Mousetrap Mondays. Oh, Nito Burrito. Ooh. Oh, he seemed like a wholesome guy. Hopefully he was like that. Hopefully he was wholesome IRL. Oh yeah, it was about that. Good old Uncle Ted. Yeah. Speaking. Yep. Holy shit! How did I forget? They got Carl himself to talk about as Carl with the model. I linked it in Stream Talk. What does that mean? They got Carl to talk about Carl? What does that mean? I love Carl so much. I want to believe Carl, there's some character in the 90s where that was like, you know, a 3D model that was on TV or something that was like the first quote-unquote VTuber. No, Carl. Oh, wait, Carl. Okay, so this short is actually Carl talking about being the first VTuber. Okay, I need to go to the link. He was someone just like that. He preferred to use his live traps instead of kill traps. Yeah, I always loved the rolling log traps because you could either make those live or kill traps. So if you had a problem, like you could just make them into drown traps. But the rolling log traps always seemed so effective. Like, I actually found it kind of funny how, like, he found the best traps and actually started to clear his, like, property of rats. And it wasn't that the traps were being less effective. It's just the fact that he was getting so many of the rats that there just weren't as many in the videos. I remember early on in his videos, he'd have, like, you know, the rolling log trap, and it would be like, he'd get like 25 in like the bin. He'd get so many in the bin, they would actually sadly kill each other because they would panic because there were so many of them there. But like later on, it wasn't that they were like, oh, the rolling log, we can't do that one. There are just less rats. You could see it in the videos. There weren't as many, you know, like approaching the traps anymore. Like, they're learning. Not like they're learning with old traps, but like new traps and whatnot, they wouldn't be like familiar with those. You could tell like it was working to clear his property, which was kind of like a secondary cool thing. Hold on. Okay, wait a minute. I'm gonna have to bring this up on video, so give me a second. I won't be able to read chats for a second, and I know I'm already behind in chats. Let's open. I want to hear from the king himself, Carl. Stream talk. Oh, first VTuber isn't anyone you think. The king has a message is the name. Oh, where did it open? Okay. So let me open. Do I have karaoke open? Karaoke should do. So karaoke, Brave, the king has a message. That we must listen to our Lord and Savior, Carl. Without him, we would have no Tomoe Umari. We would have no Pipkin Pippa. We would have no Korone. We must listen to his message, and then I can catch up with chats. Ooh. We must quiet the music. He must not be interrupted. We must turn on the desktop audio, for he must be heard. The desktop audio is very loud. We're going to turn that down, actually. He must be heard, but he must not blow out your ears.
Did you know Carl was the first VTuber? We asked the creator Dave Willis for his thoughts on the matter.
Hey, Ellen Booster. I don't know what kind of name Booster is. Like, what do? You boost cars? Alright, you want to talk to me about my expertise at pigskin prognostication on VTube. Yes. Virtual YouTube. That's right, I was the first. Of course I was the first. Because I'm the king of everything. I'm always one step ahead. Let me tell you what I'm doing right now. I'm the first guy that Elon Musk put the chip in my brain. I did.
Dude, he's a one step ahead of us all, chat. He's moving so fast. His hairline can't even keep up with him. Look at him, dude. Not even his hairline can keep up with him.
Even before he started offering money to people to do it. Mostly been good for me. I've lost a little weight because, you know, it makes me sleepwalk. Like, I'll wake up 36 miles away in Nutley. I've been walking all night in my sleep. Do I crave the taste of my own urine? Yes.
You exercise while you're asleep. That's good stuff.
I know how to solve it, at least. But yeah, I got the BrainLink chip. Like, years before you guys will do it. And I bet I'll be first, too.
We're watching a Carl video right now.
The class action lawsuit, because I don't like drinking my own urine or waking up in Nutley, New Jersey, 36 miles away. Now, I was the first. I interviewed Elle Duncan. I interviewed Pat McAfee. And yeah, I had my friends, exotic dancer Sapphire Palomino.
Oh, I got hit a full 3D model.
The anthropomorphic fleshlight. Wimmy.
Can I show that on stream?
We were entertaining the world long before you were, Ellen Booster. And long before Kazuna AI, whoever that is. I've already moved on. That's how cool I am. So, those are my thoughts about the tech. And as far as
he's moved beyond us, chat. We're old news. Oh my god. We're old news. Oh god. We're relics compared to him. He's too good. He's too much. We can never keep up with Carl. He's too legendary. Okay, let me bring down the chat again. So I can read the chats. I like how this is just a glorified... Chat, do you think we're... You know what? I have a new poll. Before we do anything, I have a new poll. Give me 1 second. Sadly, I can only put it on YouTube, so I'm sorry, Twitch, but... Hey, can you stop that? It keeps, when I try expanding the window, it keeps going to the... Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. We're talking about everything, and we're doing prep instead of building. Finish the... So... Crap. 1 minute. Start the poll. I'm gonna read the most recent chats first, and then I'm gonna go back and read the ones that I missed. Okay, there you go, chat. Sorry, Twitch, that I can't do it for you, but Twitch is racist against polls or something, I don't know. Okay. Like, I never saw him use a kill trap off camera. If it wasn't content, he didn't use kill traps. What's that Carl guy's name again? It's Carl from Aqua Tween Hunger Force. Wait, what was his name again? It's like Brutanana Lewinsky or something was his his last name. Now I want to play Aqua Teen Hunger Force game. I'd love to play that. Seth, you need to paint Gustav Karl as Aqua Teen. My God! My God, give it like a wife beater, like paint job. Oh my God, give it like a little bit of stains. Oh my God, wait a minute. Oh my God, I've never done a full body custom before, but that's for, oh my God, for Carl, for our Lord and Savior Carl. Oh my God. You might be onto something. I actually had to take a moment to write that down. Oh, 2010-ish. Okay, I don't know how far back I am in YouTube, so sorry about that. Uncle Ted. Totally use a rat trap. Mousetrap Mondays. He recently changed his content. Haven't watched it yet, but he's now a mousetrap collector. He was also collecting traps, so I'm happy that he is still doing that. I hate stuff like that. It's good to have a way to escape from any political or moral debate and just chill out. And yeah, it's just you need places just to relax. Oop. You know, and the people who always be political, nobody likes it. It's always insufferable. Carl to talk about it as Carl to talk about as Carl. Ooh. Not the hairline. Oh, I'm sorry, Switch. I'm sorry, that was inconsiderate of me. Ooh. Carl Brutanana Deluski. I probably added a syllable, but it's fine. Yesterday's Bandai live stream was crazy. Oh, was it now? I'm talking in an accent, but it's not Carl's accent. It's just a general, vague, offensive accent because I listened to somebody who sounded close enough to this. I have just noticed. That's a horrible trait. Sometimes I just do that. One of my more autistic features is the fact that sometimes when I hear a voice, I'll just start replicating it in like a half-assed fashion. I'm still doing it. I am aware. Not very good, though. Not an impression, it's the accent that I'm trying to go for. Ah, let's get out of that. Let's get out of that. Mass production new Gundam high grade is coming from it as part of the Gundam. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that's been we talked about that earlier in stream actually. Yeah. Ooh. We actually did a poll about like what people are most excited for. Surprisingly, it's not the Elysius, but people are most excited for the Goof Ignite and Leopard, which I can understand. Those are like more niche things. Like you expect the Elysius, you know. So it's like you are excited. You're excited for things you don't expect, and I don't think anyone is expecting. Nobody woke up today and was like, oh yeah, they're gonna like release a Leopard Gundam, and they're gonna release the like Goof Ignite. Nobody had that on their betting pool, okay? Nobody. I'm a Gundam X fan, and I didn't have that on my betting pool. What's the other one? But they're also releasing a Master Grade Super Deformed Master Grade Kshatriya. I did not see that one coming. Would I prefer a Master Grade Kshatriya? Yes, but am I gonna complain? No. No, because it's adorable. And I like cute things. Let's see here. 3. There we go. Excited for the Leopard. The Kshatriya is stupid. It's a super deformed. It's a little diabetic bastard. How dare you? Listen, most super deforms I wouldn't get, but the fat mechs, like a Gundam super deformed, I don't care about. But like something about seeing like a Nightingale, which is already a big boy, or a Kshatriya, which is already a big boy, as a Master Grade super deformed. Actually, I think the Nightingale is just a high grade super deformed, but I like it. I like seeing them a lot. However, I do think it's really stupid that they have not released either a revive high grade Kshatriya, because that thing needs a revive, holy crap. I've never heard one person in history build the Kshatriya and be like, yeah, this is great. It was unsatisfying to build and takes up way too much space on my shelf and isn't really all that posable. I've never heard anyone say they like it. I'm sure you can find somebody, but I haven't seen them. And there's just no Master Grade. And third-party companies keep trying to release a Master Grade and not doing the best at it, which kind of explains why there isn't a Master Grade, because it seems that it's really hard to make one. Yeah, people have been asking for a Master Grade Kshatriya since Gundam Unicorn, which would be about like 12 or 13 years, wouldn't it? It's the Gustav Brutanana. Wait, we can make the Gustav Brutanana Deluski. Ooh. I can't believe, you know, I saw the Gustav Karl, which is also the new kit, right? It's the other new kit. It's the big chonker. Let me make sure of that. Gustav Karl Gundam. Yeah, it is the chonker. Oh my god, its original design was a lot different, I see. Probably the novel version. I like the novel version a lot. I'm not saying I'm upset with like what we got, but like, look at that. That's the novel version. Look at that sleek super machine. And then look at that thing. It literally it looks like Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, no offense. But honestly, I can see how we do it, chat. I can see how we do a Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. So like we'd paint this part brown for his hair. We'd paint this part like white for like we'd paint like probably his skin white. Well, no, we have to do white. So we do like khaki on the head and khaki on the arms. We do white on the torso for like the wife beater. I think he wears, I don't remember what is he wears. Okay. He wears sandals, so we'd have to like paint this in orange, but then we'd have to do like a panel line down here. We'd have to like create a panel line. We'd have to do scribing and then also like do like panel line down the center of the toe for like the sandals. We could totally do a Carl. We could totally do a Carl Gustav Holst. So Gustav Carl, not Gustav. Gustav Holst is the guy who did the planets. Ooh. I can see it, chat. I can see it. It's such a night and day difference. I like both designs for very different reasons. But my god, that is such a difference in design. Like, that is so crazy. Ooh. I guess it's more in line with the mobile suits from like the successor mobile suits that have already been established in like the Unicorn and Narrative, where they were kind of chunky. Or maybe maybe that was the Gustav. But I guess it's more in line with those. I'll get to Twitch as soon as I catch up to YouTube. They're not racist. Well, it was a little right. Okay, wait. It's still racist if it's against white people. I was about to say it's not racist. It's against a white dude, and I'm white. Still racist. Still racist. Just because I'm also white doesn't make it not racist anymore. But it's an American accent. Okay. It's kind of he's kind of has like a bit of a Boston accent, I guess. What is Carl's accent? It's some kind of dirty New England accent. Some kind of filthy New Englander accent. Let's see. Osiris is the Osiris. I guess the Osiris is is a third-party Kshatriya. I might look into it. You need the. Somebody made an Arceus joke. Would it be accurate just to call it the Arceus Gundam? Ooh. In consideration of how the Japanese language works and how translations work. Bandai's gonna make a 1/100 scale Kshatriya. They said so themselves. But we brought this up with the Leopard. They might already have the Kshatriya ready to be made, but they might just be waiting for it to have a open slot, and they might be like, well, this is newer, so we're gonna release this instead. Because that's what Bandai does. They do it even with master grades. They will hold off on releasing master grades because they're like, we think this will be better for the market. And so things that people want to get, they'll just be like, we're just gonna wait. I think people will want to buy this more. And it's just like, then what they want to buy it more than what? Oh, this thing that they've been asking for a decade. Nobody wants to buy that. They want to buy this other, like, kit that nobody asked for. That's not fair. Everyone asks for something. There's no kit that nobody asks for, to be fair. But you know what I mean. Is that I believe that they release a 1/100 scale, though the fact that they did not say master grade means it might be a Revive 100. And considering what the Kshatriya is, I want it to be a master grade, because I feel like a Revive 100 I feel like you might be pushing what a Revive can do, because a Revive is a glorified high grade. It's an upscaled glorified high grade from what I've seen. And I don't know if a Kshatriya, doing that to get this Kshatriya would be the best idea. Nobody asked for the baseball team kits. Somebody asked for it. So there's one guy who's a fan of baseball and Gunpla who's like, yeah, I got it. Somebody would build a Dodgers, I know this isn't, you said Japanese, but somebody would build a Dodgers, like Gundam. They'd build it so they could burn it, but they'd still build it, chat. Ooh, no Dodgers fan would build it, just haters would build it. It'd be a great marketing scheme. Build this Gunpla kit and then destroy it. We made an Alabama Gundam. Hey, Tennessee, build it and then burn it and record the video. Tennessee fans, pretty much the entire South, would build an Alabama Gundam just to burn it. You might be like, why does everyone hate Alabama so much? Because nobody will admit to it. But they are unquestionably one of, if not the best college football teams in the entire fucking country. And they always have been. And people in Ohio and Texas will be like, no, we're the best. You're shit. Alabama is like God mode. Alabama are the people who are like, oh, you beat us? Oh, okay, let's add that to the tally board. Okay, so that's 1 for you. And what was that for us again? Oh, yeah, 20. That's Alabama. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't like saying it. I'm a Tennessee fan. But real talk, Alabama just is that good, and I'd build an Alabama Gundam just to fucking burn it on stream. Texas, your sports teams are built like your power grid. Jesus Christ. Oh god, that's a good one. That's a good one. My favorite thing about Texas is you just, for the Longhorns, you just go horns down and they just get really pissed off for some reason. You just go like, hey, horns down, and they're just like, oh. It's like, you can't be that easy to troll. I can't just do this. I can't just do this and get you pissed off. You can't be that insecure about your team. You can't get pissed off from me just going, from me just doing horns down. You can't be that. I love it whenever Tennessee beats Alabama. It doesn't matter if it's a home game or away, if it's in Alabama or Tennessee. If Tennessee beats Alabama, what they do is they go over to the goalpost. So that big Y, if you're outside of America, but you've seen Tennessee football, that big Y that's at the end of the field, they grab that and they pick it up. They literally pull the goalpost out of the ground and they carry it to the river, because there's like a river in both areas. They carry it to the nearest river and then throw it into the river. You might be like, why? Because they won, dude. They've earned it, okay? They've earned the right to throw the goalpost into the river, dude. What do you mean, why? Would you not throw the goal? If you beat Alabama, would you not throw their goalpost into the river? I didn't think so, bro. I don't get to talk about a lot of sports because I'm not a very big sports guy, but this is the one thing. Must make the Carl. We must. Boxy enough? Sorry. It's not boxy enough, EF, command said. No, it's not boxy enough. They're like, it's too sleek. It looks like an old BattleTech art, to be honest, how, like, sleek it is. It might have been made by that guy who sold BattleTech. That might be why it's redesigned, actually. Considering it looks like the old BattleTech art, that might be a design that's up for copyright dispute, because that guy who sold to BattleTech Macross got, Transformers, it would not surprise me if he also sold to Gundam. So they might have been like, well, this design might be dangerous to use, so let's just completely like let's just do what BattleTech did, make it blocky, make it fat, and now it's a new design. They literally just did what BattleTech did. That might be what it is. Literally, who goes and says, I want a Zaku colored like my baseball team. Dude, you're saying that to the wrong fucking dude. If they came out with a Zaku that was colored like the Tennessee Volunteers, I'd buy that shit in an instant. I would buy multiple of those. I might go bankrupt. I'd probably make a whole defensive line of Zaku, of just Zakus of football Zakus, okay? You're saying that to the wrong fucking person, man. I'm sorry, but I would get a Tennessee Zaku. What is it? You need like 12 for a defensive line or whatever. I'd get it. I'd get them all, baby. I would get that shit. I'm gonna be real with you. Oh yeah, only Japanese baseball teams, but I'm just explaining through like through a sports fan perspective. There's like powerhouses. Sorry. Yeah, houses at a Monster Jam. Ooh, oh, they're like, okay. Okay, let me catch up to YouTube chat. New England slumlord accent. So I saw England, so I went English. It's because it descended from the Irish and like the Dutch. That's why the New England accent sounds so terrible. It's just like you got all the Irish in like Boston, and then they spread out through the rest of New England. And New England actually like were originally settled by the Netherlands and the English, which is like so that you already have a shitty accent, and then you just have the Irish come in and going, you know, mixing in with just this already godforsaken accent, and so now they all sound like Gal. You know, now they all, you know, I'm walking here, you know, hey Ma, look at this baby wheel, you know, Ma, there's a weird cat outside, you know, they all sound like that now, you know, and it's just like, this is the fucking worst shit ever, you know. That's all American accents, though. They're all like they're all chimeric and hideous, and I love them for it. As an Idaho, do you not have a term for like Idaho resident? Because you have Buckeyes for Ohio, you have like, you know, Hoosiers for Indiana, you have Michiganders, which is a shit, and then you have assholes for, I shouldn't say Illinois because I have a viewer in Illinois, for assholes for Chicago. There we go. There we go. Idaho resident, I would build a California Gundam just to demolish it. Exactly. They're missing out on an opportunity here. I'll catch that in a second, Zazabi. I want to catch up to YouTube. Oh, reminds me of when Ben Shapiro buying a Barbie. Oh yeah, fuck it. The funniest thing is when he went to Home Depot and bought like a lot and just bought a piece of wood because he's like, I'm gonna support Home Depot, and he just bought a 2x4 and is like, yeah, I supported Home Depot, and it's like, Ben, what are you gonna do with that 2x4? And it's like, I'm gonna use it for something. It's like, no, you're gonna throw it. You're gonna go home and throw it away. Is what you're gonna do. It was the cringiest shit. If I beat Alabama, I would feel like a god because their team has been yeah, dude, they're a good team. They're like the reverse of like the Browns. I know the Browns are professional in Alabama's college, but like, fucking Tennessee had a 10-year run where we just couldn't beat anyone. And coincidentally, it's when the owner for the Browns was funding Tennessee football. Coinkle of a dink. The Browns are so shit that even when they take interest in other teams, the teams go to hell. Okay. Hosers. Wait, Housers? Powerhouse. Wait, what? Went to Monster Jam once when I was a kid. There was an Aqua Teen Hunger Force Carl build guy in a wife beater that made it impossible to see. They mentioned a Ford at the show, and he'd get so angry and riled up over it, booing the Ford. The moment there's a Chevy, he's the same annoying and cheer. Oh god, doing that over car brands is a different beast, but it sounds amazing. Like he was standing up for that shit. Fucking Ford. Fucking. I can understand why he'd say fuck. Why he'd say like, you know, screw a Ford, but like I don't really see much reason to be like standing up and applauding a Chevy. 11 people per side. 12 would be a penalty. You're right. For an extra man and a few. Yeah, thank you. Idahoan. Not good enough. You need to be more creative. That's like Michigan people calling themselves Michiganers. Ooh. There's like what do you call somebody from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan? It's like a peninsular or something. It's really, Michigan people just can't think of fucking good names. They're horrible with names, except for the Wolverines. That's a pretty good name for their football team. White trash. Oh, he was typical white trash. My mom was the most racist person against white trash. I mean, she was like low-key racist against everyone, to be honest. Like, she was like, you can't, well, I mean, this is high-key racism, but she was like, you can't date Asian women, you know? She had black friends, and I don't mean that like in like a sarcastic, no, she had like genuinely black. She genuinely had black friends, but she was just like low-key racist against black people. It's just she was just a middle class white woman in the Midwest. But my God, like where everything else she was like low key racist, she was just full on racist, and I will use the term racist against white trash people. Oh my God, she hated white trash people. It doesn't matter if they were trying to do the best they could, or if they were like, you know, like it didn't matter if like they were the bad kind of white trash who just like, you know, are just living a shit life because of their own life decisions, or if they were, you know, like those like salt of the earth trying to like, you know, get out of the like cycle kind of people. It doesn't matter. She had them all as like less than human. Anyways, where was I? Automod is evil. Ford vehicles suck. I hate Fords. Fords do suck. Ford made like the first, like, Ford made the Model T, and it's just been downhill from there. Oh God. Found on road dead. Yes. I know what your problem is, Hank. It's a Ford. You know what Ford stands for? Fix it again, Tony. That's a Fiat. That's a Fiat, Dale. Fix it again. That's, I think, is that the first line in King of the Hill? No, the first line in King of the Hill is Hank saying, I think it's like, is them like saying what might be wrong with his truck. Because the first scene in King of the Hill is Hank looking at his truck. But Dale's first line, I think, in the entirety of King of the Hill, that might be his first line. It's either that or he said, I think that might be Dale's first line in King of the Hill. It's either his first or second line. I'll tell you what your problem is. I love Dale so much. Everyone likes Dale. King of the Hill is one of the best slice of life shows of all time. Absolute peak. I kick your ass. God, dude, if a 6'2", if like a 6'2", 6'4" Japanese man shouted, I kick your ass, I'd also move out of the way. I'm gonna be honest with you. Ford means fix or repair daily. That's another good one. Ooh, the upper ones are called Canadian. What the? You know what's racist? Not having other Asian people in media, especially games. I have never seen a Southeast Asian main character in a AAA game. I've seen a few, but I can't name them off the top of my head. Ooh. But I've seen Asian, but ooh, I don't know if I've seen. I know I've seen actually one or two like Southeast Asian, but not like Vietnamese. I'm thinking like Philippines. Fucking people be like more representation, and then it's just like, except for Cambodians, Vietnamese, and like the people from Thailand. Fuck those guys. Thailand, Southeast Asia. I don't know. I just know. That reminds me of how just. I don't think the word communism means anything in Asia. In the West, it has like a meaning, but in Asia, you have like Korea, and it's like, this is a communist country. You look inside, it's just like a feudal hellhole, and you're like, okay. Then you have China, it's like, we're communists. You look inside, and it just functions like it functions off the rubrics of Benito Mussolini, and you're like, what the fuck? Then you have Vietnam, no idea what the fuck you guys are doing, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know if you guys are still communist. I have no idea what you're doing, just gonna be frank. And then you have Cambodia, and that was just a horror show. That one's just like fucking, that one's just fucked up. I think you guys are just like, fuck it, we're communists. It's like, we have this term, fuck it. We don't like the monarchy, they're kind of assholes, to be honest, so we're the communists. That seems like a cool thing. But and all those countries aren't connected to each other, but like, you know, Korea's connected to China, completely different countries. Both are like, yeah, we're communists, and it's like, I don't think that can be, that's like, I don't think you both can be communists. That doesn't seem to make sense to me. Then you go to Vietnam, don't know what the fuck you guys are doing, so I'm just gonna skip over you. Then you go to like Cambodia, and it's just like, that was really fucked up. But each one is very different from the last is the thing. Well, actually, Cambodia and North Korea weren't that different, to be honest. Let's be real for a moment. Only thing is the Cambodia one collapsed in on itself. But I don't know what the fuck. Then again, in the West, you just had the USSR, and then they were just like, everyone is this form of communism. And it's like, I don't want to be this form of communism, and it's just like, you are. Ooh. He was drinking Bud Light like a real American. Let's see here. Wasn't Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade was Korean, not Southeast Asian. Ooh. That's the thing. Like when he said Southeast Asian, and I was like, shit. There's plenty of Asian. There's plenty of Northeast Asian, like Japan and Korea and even Chinese. That's Central Asian. But then it's like Southeast Asian. It's like, I know I have known at least one Philippine protagonist in something, and they were like half Filipino. And that's like the only one I can think of. Thailand is Southeast Asia. Good. For some reason they make really good curry. If she was a Mega Man boss, she'd be a racist woman. Yeah. No, that'd be my grandma. Oh. My grandma was like 1930s racist. Ooh. Was like my mom inherited from, but my mom, for all of her faults, did raise her kids not to inherit her racism that she inherited from her mother. So good on my mom for that. You know, we say a lot of bad things about her because she's genuinely an awful person. But you know what? She's not an irredeemable person. She's no Heinkel. I would love to be represented, but anyone but AAA, EA, or Epic. But AAA is just any big budget game, any mainline. Technically speaking, like Nintendo's AAA. My grandma's horrible with racism. She's not a racist, she's just horrible with racism. She just doesn't know, like, you know, sometimes she'll be complimenting people, then insulting them. She just doesn't understand how it works. Sorry. I'm just trying to get this piece all gussied up. Trying to apply the extra paint where I need to. You know, I was like, you know, I was super concerned before the start of stream chat. Real talk, that I was like, oh no, what if we build this too fast because this kit isn't too complicated? And I've just been yapping and just painting the same piece for like the last 2 hours. I don't think that's a concern. I think I overestimated myself something awful. Representation is overrated. Give me a good story. Yeah. Well, actually, that reminds me. If we play Dragon Ball Z this week, I'm literally gonna title the stream Happy Black History Month. If we play Kakarot on Thursday, I'm gonna title it Happy Black History Month. Because ain't nobody loving Dragon Ball more than Mexicans and American blacks. Oh my god. Okay, let's you know what? I can paint that later, so I don't need to touch that up. Do I need to touch this up at all? Doesn't look like I do. That's good. So we can install these. It's not perfect, but it's fine. As much as my parents weren't good, I still have vivid memories of my dad decking grandma for dropping a hard R about my friend Jesus Christ! You punched grandma! You used the hard R. Damn. I don't think my grandma never used the hard R. We just drove through a neighborhood once and she was like, we need to be careful here. And it's like, why? Because this is where the colored people live. What colored are? It's like, what color are they, Nana? That's the most racist she was. She didn't. Damn though. Your son's hanging out with a cannot say word on Twitch or YouTube. Oh, Jesus Christ. Listen, don't say the N-word. But at the same time, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine punching my fucking 60-year-old fucking grandma or mother My mom would never use the hard R, but my mom would never even use the N-word. Would my mom use the N-word? I don't believe my mom would use the N-word, but I cannot imagine laying her out. And I do not like that woman. She was very, very, she was major league racist. I get it. Once you go racist, you can't go back. Oh, yes, you can. You can. Ooh. I mean, there's literally like a black guy whose entire thing is to meet with Klansmen and like show them that like, nah, I'm just a person. And this guy literally has converted a shitload of Klansmen out of being racist. And even the Klansmen who he doesn't convert out of being racist are like, this is a good guy. And it's just like, of course, their logic is like, he's the one good one of his race, but like, I forget what his name is, but like, guy literally has a collection of KKK robes from the people he's talked to and have been like, you know what? I don't want to be racist anymore. You're such a good guy. I don't want to be racist anymore. Here's my KKK robe. So he just in his basement just has a collection. It's just a black guy with a collection of like Ku Klux Klan robes. It's kind of a funny picture when you see them. Like he doesn't put them on. I cannot say he does not put them on because I cannot say because you know the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. So you know what? I can't say he doesn't put them on. Because I'm a lesser man, chat. If I was a black dude who's like gotten a bunch of KKK robes from like a bunch of white boys, I'd put them on every now and then. I'd put them on and just watch the game and just chuckle to myself because I'm a child. But you can go back, believe it or not. Ooh. But it can be hard. Let's see here. Okay, it needs to go in like this. Let me try to get this in, and then let me look at chat. But, Dragon Ball Kakarot is fun. 100% completed it a couple of times at this point. Granted, combat is a bit dull overall. Isn't it just like Dragon Ball Z story mode RPG? But it's not like a JRPG. It is a JRPG because it comes from Japan, but it's like, it is. What would you describe it as? It's one of those. It's like it's a weird thing because like we are so used to, especially in the West, of like make your own character for RPGs. But it's like an established character RPG is effectively what it is, where you follow somebody else. Like, you don't make the story yourself, but you still follow, but like it is still like has all the mechanics of it. Is that correct? Does YouTube censor communism? It might, because it's political. So it might do that. Because I didn't see your chat on it. Ooh. Because I was kind of surprised you didn't say anything when I started talking about, like, Vietnam, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck you guys do. I really don't. All I know is that Poland and Vietnam both have really, like, I don't want to say high opinions, but, like, of all countries outside of the US, Vietnam and Poland, I understand why Poland. No idea why Vietnam, but Vietnam is like, yeah, America's, like, cool. I don't know if you guys think America is cool, but, like, compared to the rest of the world, you guys effectively, like, are a lot more positive about America, and I have no fucking idea why. You're like, oh yeah, you know, fucking, we had a war with them. They left, you know, like we had a peace treaty. Then we were like, this peace treaty's gay and lame, so we like, you know, went over and just took over the South. You know, kicked the Americans out, but we're cool with them now. And I was like, no, not nothing but a thing. We make like, you know, we make some stuff for them nowadays. I don't fucking know. But yeah, I think it probably went through stream, but I probably missed it. I'm sorry. You can post in stream talk is what I meant to say, but it probably was on stream elements, but I missed it. She was mother-in-law to him. That's fair. Ooh. I feel like a lot of guys would want to punch their mother-in-law in general, racist or not. Racist or not, that man's living the dream. He got to punch his mother-in-law. You know what? King. Oh god. Punching your mother? Unforgivable. How could you? Even if she's the worst person ever. Even my mom, who I despise, could never punch her. But if my mom was my mother-in-law, I'd lay that bitch out in an instant. No hesitation. Enemy of enemy, friend. Good point. You know, you got rid of us, you're like, you know what, no bad blood, you know, we're just like, everything that happened, it happened, yeah, you committed some war crimes, we committed some war crimes, you committed some more war crimes, what the fuck ever, you're no longer here, we don't care. Oh, but you know what, who we really hate? Everyone the fuck else around us, and you know who you hate? Everyone else around us as well. So you know what, you're not so bad. Fucking Vietnamese are just built different. I respect it. That looks... I'm happy I repainted this, because look at that. Look how well that stands out. I feel like, though, it's not sitting right. It's not. Okay. So... Okay, it wasn't fully plugged in. It's in Stream Talk. I'll check it in a minute. Not his actual... Yeah. Mom's mom is a mother-in-law from hell. Dad's mom is a mother-in-law from heaven. Kind of seems how it goes. Okay, I see the problem. So, like, you have to seat it, it looks like, from above. Because if you seat it from in front, you're not going to get the proper angle. So you have to just... It's just a matter of angling it correctly. Okay, so... Now I think I plug this in. Wait, no. Let's get these on first. This one goes here. Maybe I should have... No. I was like, maybe I should have made these, God damn it. Burgundy like the other parts that I repainted, but I think these go really well in red. The trees speak Vietnamese. That would be fucking... That was bit... Ooh. Oh god. I'm just cosplaying as a Grey Jedi. What's with the pointy hat? I'm also cosplaying as like a Spanish Catholic. I love every year you have the Spanish Catholics, you know, who the KKK robes are actually based off of the Spanish Catholics, but they are... KKK members are Protestant. Very important to remember. They are Protestants who hate Catholics. So them being dressed like, you know, Spanish Catholics are not in solidarity, but in mockery of Catholics. Because the only thing that competes with the KKK's hatred of, like, brown people are Catholics. And people don't talk about this often. But the KKK is also an anti-Catholic organization. Most people don't talk about this because most people are Protestant, so it doesn't fucking affect them. But Catholics, you fucking learn about this in school. You learn, like, why do they burn the cross? And it's like, they burn the cross because it is like, literally, they're like, well, that's iconography, and iconography is bad and anti-Christian. Fuck Catholics. Also, it's actually an appropriation of Catholic, it's an appropriation and bastardization of Catholic Scottish beliefs. Because the Catholic Scottish would burn the flag as like a war cry. Sorry, not the flag. The cross as a war cry. They're like, Jesus is with us. And then the Gaelics, who were ironically descended from those Scottish but were Protestant, were like, fuck you, effectively. It's a whole complicated thing. Okay, no, I do put that one in first. But every year, whenever it's usually, I think it's Easter, if I remember correctly. Every Easter, when those Spaniards put on their silly little robes and do their whole like rituals, and they're actually pretty cool. Like they pretty much have parades. You know, they have floats and whatnot. You know, where they carry, you know, like not temples. What's the word? Not effigies. They just carry, you know, stuff to honor, you know, Jesus Christ and the Virgin Mary and things like that, you know. Ooh, And it's really cool. It's just a nice ritual that they do. And it's all, you know, in remembrance of, like, you know, the virtues and what have you. But every year, Americans go like, look at this, like what, like how could, like, look at this, like the KKK is stronger than ever. And it's just like, oh yeah, all those Spanish, you know, like brickwork. There's nowhere in the United States of America where a town looks like that. You know, there's no like, oh yeah, that like 500-year-old like brick road. They're fuck off. They're just like, look, the KKK is so, you know, is so powerful. Oh yeah, the KKK, well known for carrying, you know, floats of the Virgin Mary. Fuck off. Every year. Oh goodness. Well, chat, I'm gonna end the poll because we finished the torso. Just surprisingly, we finished the torso. Ooh. Shut up and build. Well, no, I build and not shut up. I know Opus voted for Spin because he is predictable. I mean, who could have voted for Spin? I'm Catholic, and the iconography thing isn't what most people think. It's not the prayer items, it's the attributing power to the item. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things that just Protestants don't understand about Catholic practices and beliefs, because holy shit, they just say the same things over and over again. They're like, oh, well, like you worship the Virgin Mary, and it's like, no, people don't worship the Virgin Mary any more than they worship the apostles. Ooh, and it's like, well, but you have, like, you know, the prayer, like you have the prayer to Mary. It's like, you're not praying to Mary, you are remembering the virtues of Mary so that you may walk a similar path to her. Ooh. Like, the reasons you have saints is you do not worship the saints. You pray to God, but you use the lessons of the saints to help you walk closer to God, because saints are people who walked closest to God among this earth, among this worldly plane. They are people to follow in being more Christ-like. And every time they're just like, so you're worshiping, you know, so you're worshiping Paul. No, I'm not worshiping Paul. Paul was just a really good disciple. Like, Paul had a lot of good lessons. You know, me reading Paul, like, is no worse than, like, me reading Matthew and whatnot. Oh my god. What annoys me, though, is, let's say, you'll have, like, American Protestants who are, like, whose sect of, like, Protestantism is, like, 50 or 100 years old. And then they're gonna tell you about how, like, you know, things that predate their version of the church is, like, heretical. And it's like, this stuff literally predates your version of, like, what you're doing. Like, there are things, like, I hate it when they say things that, like, literally predate the concept of Protestantism, like the cross, like the Virgin Mary. They're like, well, that's anti-Christian. And it's like, we've had so many councils about this. We've had so many religious debates about this before Protestantism even existed. No, it's not. Stop it. Ooh. Yeah, it is. It's organizing your prayers. I mean, the rosaries are literally to keep... Rosaries are just to keep track of your prayers. They're prayer beads, which is found in many religions. Jesus' story is amazing if you look at it slightly blasphemously. He was just some nameless man, yet he cared for the sick, loved the unloved in particularly cruel time, and died for... Thing is, whether or not you believe, like, I believe Opus believes, but whether or not you believe, Jesus is a fucking based motherfucker. Sorry for cursing. That is fucking heretical, how I just said that, and I'm going to have to fucking go to confession for that. Calling Jesus a based motherfucker, that is blasphemous. I'm fucking sorry for that. I'm sorry for cursing. That was out of line. But, whether you believe or not, yes. In a course of 3 years, because he only, like, preached for 3 years, he had a message that resonated with humanity to such a degree that whether or not you believe he was divine, his message reached across the world. That is amazing. Like, in its own right, whether or not you believe the achievements of a man who spoke for but 3 years, reaching across the world with his message, with his messages, is remarkable, whether or not you believe. I think this chest, this looks really nice, and I'm happy I did the paint job on it. While not holding any hatred for those who wronged him. No. Ooh. One thing I hate is people who interpret Jesus as purely divine, when no, Jesus is the divine made flesh. And this is very important in Christendom, because he is as fallible as any human. We're just going on to theology conversations. But the reason it pisses me off is because a very important part is that we can all be Christ-like by the teachings of Jesus Christ. And though he was of the divine, he was not unachievable for any other man. Ooh. That's a very important thing. Let's build the head as well. We are like at 3 hours, but I'm okay with that. Just enjoy the story more. If he was a man than God, I hope it gets... Ooh, I don't get smitten for it. Well, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people don't understand that he was both, and it's kind of like a philosophical thing, but what it was, how Christians see it, is not that he was God, perfect, and whatnot. He was God, but a better way to say it is he was God made fallible. He was God made flesh, and all of the temptations, all of the... What's this doing? This is the Sunday school now, chat. But all of the flaws of man were imbued upon God when he made himself man. So even though he was God made flesh, he was as fallible as any of us. He was as capable of falling to evil as any of us. And we see Jesus getting pissed at times. We see Jesus nearly falling. We see Jesus being tempted throughout the Bible. And what it is God loving humanity so much that he makes himself fallible. He shows humanity that even that a man can rise above it by making it so that he himself is fallible, and then shows the process to do it. And he sacrifices himself to show humanity that lesson. So for Christians, it is very, very, very important that he is divine, but he is man. And it is more of a sacrifice because of it, because he lowered himself. And as a Christian, talking about this is very, very heartfelt, because it is literally the perfect making itself imperfect. It is the divine. It is... Ooh. There's Sunday school chat. How it going? I don't think he's God, but I believed in his cause for... Yeah, he... Let's see here. And then this goes on like this. But as a Muslim, I would agree. Ooh. One thing I don't like is when motherfucker... Sorry, I shouldn't be cursing. One thing I hate is when people call themselves Christians and then they're like, I don't believe in the resurrection, and it's like... What? I can understand if you're not Christian, you're like, I don't believe a guy rose from the dead. And just like walked around, you know, like with a body beyond life and death. I can understand not being a Christian, but as a Christian, it's like, the fuck you just say to me? And they're like, oh no, it's just a metaphor. The Bible, in its text, make it very clear it's not a metaphor. There's a whole part of the Bible where Jesus is like, look at my wounds, and he shows his stigmata, which were where the nails went through on the cross, and he's like, like there's holes in his arms and whatnot, and like he is beyond life and death and whatnot. He is still physical and whatnot and all this stuff. And it's just like, no, it's just a metaphor. And it's just like, I can understand different interpretations, but that one I'm just like, you gonna tell me you don't believe in transmogrification either? And when they don't say they don't believe in transmogrification, I get a little bit bigoted. If you're a Christian, this is true for any religion. If you're like a Muslim, I'm sure like there's some, if you're like a Muslim, I'm sure like other sects, there's certain things they believe in that you're just like, I can get along with you for like 99% of things, but if you don't believe in this one thing, I think you're just the worst thing to ever walk the earth. This is true for all religions, to be fair. But when a motherfucker says they don't believe in transmogrification, I'm like, get the fuck out. Why do you eat the body and blood if you do not believe in transmogrification? It's like, it's a symbolic. No. No, it's not. That is literally the body and blood of Christ. It's like, so you're saying you're a cannibal? I am a cannibal, motherfucker. I'm a Catholic. Give me that blood. Switching topic. Yeah, let's get off of religious topics because it's so touchy for a lot of people. The Ali Zeus Gundam would be $130 in the land of the free, which is crazy. It might be. That might be an overestimate. Because I know you're like probably using like how price gauges usually go. But at certain stores it will be over $100. But in consideration, and I know it is bigger and it has probably a lot more complexity and it is newer than the Kasi Gundam, I would honestly say that it's probably going to be closer to $100 than $120. Will it be a little over or under that? I don't know. But it would probably be a little bit closer to that in all honesty. Unless the yen price is like already 100. If what it would be like 1,000,000 yen or whatever. Is that too many zeros? Or is that like the correct amount of zeros? Whatever, like if dollars and cents were 1-to-1, like $100 in like Japanese, so to speak. I know the conversion rate isn't 1-to-1, but if it was 1-to-1, yeah, 120. I'm not gonna argue that. But if it's not, just based on like what the prices were before. Oh, let me read your chat. Communism just means the top companies are either belong to the government or government funded, which is a lot of capitalist countries already anyway. The subsidized in capitalist countries. And communism doesn't mean the top companies. Maybe that's what it means where you are, but it's just how things are run is different. But yeah, like that's kind of how like China and I guess Vietnam runs it, is just the fact that like I guess you could like, how I think of it, it's kind of like how the companies are on loan to the private citizens, but at any time if like they want to like, if they want to confiscate the company for any reason, the government pretty much can. Is how modern like communism works. Traditional communism is just like the government owns and runs the businesses, but that's really fucking inefficient for a lot of reasons. So modern communist countries pretty much function more like fascist countries, where the businesses are owned by the government, but they are run by the citizenry, and their profit margins are made to be competitive like in a traditional capitalist system, but at any time they can be confiscated by the government, whether if they just feel like it, effectively. I don't know if that's true for like Vietnam, but that is true for China at least. Ooh, it's what? Really? Which is which is $85 when you convert correctly, and $130 if you convert it for Bandai's like a Bandai executive. That's the thing. For like a high grade, that would be a correct conversion. That ratio would be a correct conversion. Sorry, it is a high grade. But for a less expensive kit, that is the correct conversion. You're using the correct conversion for a kit that's like $30 or $20. You know, they would like increase the price by, what is that, 40, by 50%. So they'd take a kit that's like, you know, $20 in Japan, sell it for like, you know, $28 in the US, $30 in the US. Or at least like after cost, it would be that much. They wouldn't be selling it for that. but you know, like in stores, like a Hobby Lobby on sale or what have you, it would be that much money. But when you get higher in prices, you can't do that high of ratio, so you have to correct a little bit more. Collectivism is an entirely different way of living, top to bottom. Every aspect of life is effective. Yeah, collectivism. It's a fundamentally different value system. Collectivism is. But yeah, communism is fundamentally collectivistic. I hate my SIM card provider. They keep forcing me to go to their website, even if I click no. Here. Do I disassemble this head later? I kind of don't want to do the prep on the head. Ooh, so I might disassemble it off stream, but I honestly just don't want to do, like, I've already done like the face mask. As you can see, the light just doesn't feel like it's quite right. It feels like it's not lighting up things correctly. Hold up. I feel like it's been off all stream. Is it? I don't know. I think I lessened it for some Gunpla picks a few weeks ago. Most common, I don't know why you're censored for saying communist, but Opus is fine. Runs kind of like that. They, got an over-bloated company that used to run and by a government, but now they're so powerful that they influence the government back. Ooh. That's ironic. No. So we put on the ears, like we put on the vents first, then we put on the bunny ears. Oh my god. Wait a minute. It's a mini mobile suit. It's like super short. It's like a lolly of a mobile suit. It has bunny ears. We could have made a custom Pipkin Pippa. Oh my god. I have pink. Where's my pink? I don't have any other I don't have any pastel colors though. Oh my god. We could have made a Pipkin Pippa Den'an Gei. I'm too committed to what I've already done. I like what I'm doing already. I'm not gonna like, I really like how this looks. I'm not gonna like make a Pipkin Pippa Den'an Gei, but like, if I had a spare Den'an Gei, I would want to make a Pipkin Pippa Den'an Gei. Oh my god, it has the ears. Which one goes where? How do you go? How do you, okay, there we go. Ooh. Let's see here. That's actually a problem with the Chinese fleet now that I think about it. I was actually thinking about this often, is like the Chinese, like, what they do is they will like mandate companies to make their fleet for them. And this is how like the Chinese have like such big fleets and whatnot, like, for their navy. But the problem is that like it's really inconsistent in quality, because like, did I put this in wrong? Because you have some people who like will be making the ships, because it's like everyone has to make the ships. So some people will be making the ships and they're like, oh well, we're making the ships and you know we're proud communists and we're making the ships to the best of our quality. But then other ones will just be like smaller companies, and this is just something I think about. The smaller companies who do not have the money to, or like the manpower to make the ships per quota to the party's liking, those ships literally just by like rules of nature cannot be produced to the same quality. So sometimes I just think about like how, like what is like, how many of like Chinese vessels are really good ships and how many are just rushed out lowest, you know, like they don't, like, it's not that they want to make them at low quality, it's just that like when you tell certain companies to make a certain type of ship that they cannot produce at a certain rate, you're just gonna get inferior products, and they've been doing that recently. So I kind of just wonder like what's the quality of like Chinese ships and how much they must vary within the same like order of ship. Like you could have like the same ship made by 2 different people and just have it be wildly like different quality in like alloys and whatnot. This is gonna look really good. The khaki. Look at that khaki. I feel like I might have to do some color separation on the head. Maybe like what I did with the Kshatriya. It's gonna be really hard to tape these off, but I might on Tuesday we might come back and these might be golden. You know, I don't need to tape them off. The toothpick thing has been working amazingly. Oh, Bandai will review more reveal more kits. Reveal on the 12th of the month might ooh. You know what I'm gonna do? You know what? It's gonna be in the morning. I was like, we could do a watch along, and then I remembered that this is a Japanese stream, even if they have subtitles. It's a Japanese stream, so they'd copyright my ass, actually. The head feels a little plain compared to all the other work I've done on the body. I'm gonna have to figure out what I want to do with the head to add a little bit of color to it. But this kit looks nice already, in my opinion. Ooh. How much time do we have left? Ah, screw it, we can go for a 3-hour stream. But yeah, that's true. So, Bandai 12th. Ooh. And then... oh god, High Guard. That would have been a lot better topic than the more serious things we got into, but I like to talk about whatever is just most pressing at the time. Pressing, whatever. Actually, I want to build this real quick. I want to build the weapon, because I want to do some prep on it that can only be done when it's in one piece. But High Guard... my god, learning that like Jeff Keighley endorsed that himself, that it wasn't that like they were like paid for the #1 spot, but like Keighley was like, this game is the greatest thing I've ever seen, and I need to tell everyone it's the greatest thing ever, so it's gonna get the numero uno slot at the Game Awards. Allegedly, that's what happened, and I'm like, oh my god, that makes me feel sorry for everyone involved. You have like High Guard, who is making a game that probably wouldn't have been like super successful, but also wouldn't have all the eyes of the world on it. And then you also have Jeff Keighley, who's just like, yeah, this like I can make this game super popular by promoting it, and it just imploded it. It's kind of sad at the end of the day. Ooh. Oh god, the High Guard is. Oof. I don't know if it's gonna go under. People are like, it's gonna go full Concord, be like done in like in a week or 2. I don't know about that, because Concord had like 100 people playing it for it to go under, and High Guard has seemingly like evened out at like 10,000 players, which you might be like, that's not as many as the like 100,000 it started with. No, but that's still 10,000 people. Oh, hello, Lon. Hello. Ooh, we're just talking about High Guard and how sad it is. Ooh. But like, I don't think it's gonna go under. I can't see that. If it was like super funded up the butt, I could see it. Like if it had like a really massive investment. But if it's true that like, you know, the Jeff Keighley promoted it because he thought it was that good, which would be funny if it wasn't so sad. Oh, what the hell, I'll laugh anyways. But if it wasn't for that, I just wanted to do the Joker meme. God, it might, you know, honestly, it might do better. At the end of the day, before Jeff Keighley, nobody heard of this game. And you might be like, it has 10,000 players, which isn't a lot. But that might be 10,000 more people playing it than would have been playing it if Jeff Keighley never said anything. Real talk. Real talk. Because who heard of it? I still remember Doki Bird's reaction to it, chat. Did you guys see Doki Bird's reaction to High Guard when it was announced at the Game Awards? Jeff has way too much trust in a mediocre hero shooter. It literally is trying to do everything, and it has no target audience. It has nothing. It has no focus at all, you know? It's like me for these past 2 years. No focus, no target audience, okay? I still can pick up some people, but, you know, when I become Seth, there's gonna be a lot more focus on dinosaurs. But it has no focus, and it's just has a bunch of things. It has busy work in it, and it's just like, why would you have, in an era of fast-paced shooters, put busy work and like resource grinding into your game? Why would you do that? Like, and these aren't, and like, it's a 3v3 game mode is how they released it, and it's like, in like a 5v5, which they have added, or like an 8v8, I could see resource gathering in maybe a slower, more like, you know, podging game where, like, you know, you have some people running defense, some people doing aggression, some people doing resource gathering. But in a 3v3, like, it's just like you have too much going on in your game for that to be how it functions. Ooh. I forget what else I was going to say. At a shorter development time than and is a F2P, it might not be very successful, but it won't be another Concord. That's the thing. Like, I don't think it had as much money go into it. Also, it's like a as you said, free to play. That's what I meant. The fact that they were able to afford releasing it as free to play, as an independent game, so shows that they have backing enough to support it for a little while. Concord, if I remember correctly, you had to pay $40 fucking for that. Sorry for cursing. You had to pay $40 for Concord, and it's just like, no, absolutely not. It's more likely to go the way of Halo Infinite, which is to say it's going to be rough for the first year or two of it. It's gonna just stabilize at like maybe 10,000 to 8,000 players. And it's gonna be like Fallout 76, come out like a year or so afterwards, maybe even 6 months, it might not even be that long. People are gonna be like, I swear by it, it's actually a really fun, good game now. But because it had that massive boost at the start, because so many people experienced it at the start when it was at its worst, nobody's gonna want to touch it. That's the problem. It's gonna be, and that's what happened to Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite became a very fun, one of the funnest Halo games you could play, but it released in a broken state. Not like, it released in an incomplete state, not broken. And the things that they had to do to make it all run smoothly and ship shape wasn't until like a year and a half after release. And by that point, everyone was like, it doesn't matter if it's like, you know, up there with like Halo, like it's not as good as Halo 3. Like Halo 3 is just objectively the best Halo for multiplayer. People are like, well, Halo Reach is the best. No. I played all of them on the Master Chief Collection. Halo 3 is objectively the best multiplayer of Halo. It has never been that good, and it will probably never be that good again. It is just perfectly balanced. Okay? It's really good. Let's build the shoulder pad. Marvel Rivals is a peak free to play hero shooter. Even got a popular IP tie-in. They're doing very good with Marvel Rivals. It's kind of funny because everyone was like, no, you can't do that. Like, you know, Overwatch is already, like, you know, unquestionable. Nobody's going to stop playing Overwatch. Then they released Overwatch 2. Technically speaking, they already released Overwatch 2. But they just made a game focused on fun gameplay, fun character interactions, and rewarding gameplay loops with attractive characters. When I say attractive characters, I don't just mean like characters you want to jerk your gherkin to. I mean characters that you like looking at, which is very important. You don't have to be like sexually attracted to a character. You want to have a character you like to look at, whether it's male or female. You don't want to be playing as like the Elephant Man, you know? like in a game, you know? You don't want to like play as something that's actually unpleasant to look at. Like even if a character's like disfigured, you want it to be like disfigured like Two-Face from like Batman, where he looks cool still. It's like, oh no, he's horribly disfigured, but at the same time really badass looking. That's what you want, you know? You want a woman, you want a female character who's hot, who's attractive, because you want to look at things you like. It's fantasy. Did you know about the Kingsman? The Goon! The Kingsman comic, or the Kingsman movies? I have read or watched neither. So yes and no. What time is it? Yeah, we still have time to build the arms. So let's get this piece off and this piece off. Might even have time to build the other shoulder pad. Which is ironic because we won't have time because I did not paint the grenades. I don't know what these are, but in the shoulder pad, the whatever goes here. Are those grenades? That's the only thing I can imagine them to be, but I painted those and I was very happy with that. I'm really happy I figured out khaki. Because I was like, I can't do too much bronze because it's gonna look gaudy if it has too much bronze on it. And the khaki was just saved my life. That nice off brown, that dull off brown to bridge the gap between that burgundy and the bronze. Where's the other? I got okay. Here's the other one. Now where are the arms? Here are the arms. Okay. Kingsman is a Marvel streamer who partook in a tournament. Was he one of the ones who was like pro Doki Bird or like an anti? I only know of like it was XQC and somebody else have like are so pissed that Doki Bird beat them in a tournament she'd even participate in. It's so legendary. They changed the rules last minute, and Doki Bird, to a team that she was building and nurturing for like the last month, went, guys, I want to participate in this tournament, but you if I leave in these people, it has a better shot because you guys have better team cohesion and play better. So I'm gonna recommend some other people to like join the team, and you guys can like find other people yourself as well. But I, as the team captain, am going to just step away because I know that I am actually the weakest link in this overall team, even though I'm the captain. And she did that, and they reorganized the team and worked independently from her, and they won the tournament. And it's such a great story because it's so heartfelt and like these people coming together, beating the teams. And then you have people like XQZ and whatever the hell the other guy's name is. I forget his name, but he hates VTubers. He actually unironically is just like bitter towards VTubers for some reason. He's one of those people. And they still cannot accept the fact that they lost. And it's just like, it's a tournament. It's literally like a stupid Twitch tournament. And you're like seething and like, you're seething over it. Stop it. Stop it. Get some help. Okay. This piece. He's a college guy based. Wait. He was playing for the win while his team played for good vibes and funds, and he got flamed for politely asking his bottom fragging team to switch to a better hero. No, I think I have seen that where like she wouldn't move off of like not Widowmaker, it's Overwatch, like Black Widow or something, because he needed the money since he's still a student. Is it that one where his teammates were like, yeah, maybe it's coincidentally, but like, yeah, the one person was like playing like he was getting like in the match, like he was getting like 16 and like 2. So like he was And like that was like kill death ratio. And meanwhile, that's like girl was getting like 0 and 5 or 0 and even higher than that. She was dying, not killing anyone, not doing any support, not providing anything to the team. And it was just like, we're playing in a tournament. Change off of this. And like she was like, no, it's all gonna work out fine. He's like, we're doing a tournament. They're going to play like this specific like role in the game. I don't know the term, so I just can't tell you what they are. But it's like you're gonna like they're gonna play this like setup. You have to like get off of that because you're just a weak link in the team. And they're like, no, they won't play like, you know, they won't play this competitive build in this competitive tournament where like thousands of dollars are on the line. Oh, and it turns out every team ran that build and they got like last place or something. And then afterwards they were like, he was really toxic for telling us, you know, to like be like good players. And it's like, you're in a tournament. If this was like normal gameplay, I could understand. But this is like, this guy's running like, again, like 16 and 1 or 16 and 2. And you're like, and you're running 0 and like 7. And you're like, oh no, I'm not gonna like, no, you don't understand. I'm really good at this character. No, you fucking aren't. You aren't good. If you're running 0 and like, Jesus Christ, when I ran support in Splatoon with a fucking Brella, I would get 15 and 0. Okay? But I know that would like, but sometimes I would get fucking wrecked with that build. I used to have the small umbrella in Splatoon, and sometimes I would get 15 and 0. I would dominate with that build. But certain matchups, if the team coordinated, they could fucking bend me over a barrel, and I wouldn't sit there going, well, no, the umbrella's gonna get good. No, I'd be like, okay. And mind you, this wasn't competitive gaming. This was like turf war. I'd be like, okay. Let me switch to like the spray or something, or like this isn't a good map for, you know, this Brella build. Okay. I'm not gonna, like, I love this build. It's my favorite build, but I know when a build isn't working, and I know what its hard counters are, so I'm not gonna run this build. Simple as. Ooh, Black Widow, yeah. Yeah, it's like fucking. I did see, yeah. Ooh, is wild. Yeah, it was a 40,000 tourney. Jesus Christ, I thought it was like 14,000. That's actually a very understandable mistake to make. Though also, I was wondering in the back of my head, 14,000 isn't like. 14,000 is a lot of money, but like split among 5 people. Still a lot of money, still several $1,000s. But like hearing that it's like $40,000, like Jesus Christ, yeah, that's fucking crazy. Wouldn't switch to a third support. This supposed to best team setup. Yeah, it's just if you like you're not a team player, and if you're not a team player, why the fuck are you playing on a team? Sorry for cursing, but like, why are you on a team if you're not a team player? Why are you here? I don't do like major like tourneys or anything. I can't stand them. God, I really should try Splatoon 3 again. Splatoon was my favorite like multiplayer game for like a good while, but then Splatoon 3 on release had the sweatiest lobbies I have ever experienced, and I was like, I hate this game. I should give it another shot. God, I loved Splatoon 2 was one of my favorite experiences. I loved Clam Blitz. I loved Clam Blitz so much. Everyone else would be like, Clam Blitz, I'm not playing ranked. And I'm like, Clam Blitz? The only time I ever used brush was to Clam Blitz. And I would rush. I am never a rusher in any game. But for Clam Blitz, my inner football came out. And I was like, it's time to go it's time to go deep, baby. It was just time to go. I would just break through their lines and just get them points. I was a menace at Clam Blitz. Oh my god, everyone else was just like, Clam Blitz is too different a game mode, and I was just like, I'm gonna play like I play for no other game, in like, not only for Splatoon, but for any game ever. I'm just gonna like completely change my gameplay method, because I want that football. You know, you in Clam Blitz, you get enough clams, it turns into a football, and just something awakened inside me as an American. I was just like, it's time to go. Oh god, she even worse than the support in their team is the best part. Oh my god. I was reflecting on I should really go back to Splatoon. On a new account, I think it was sweaty because like how they were like matchmaking me. on my old account, because my account was really, really good, because as I was saying, I was getting really good kill. Like, I was getting like 15-0 for like KDs. I was good. But I was good because I enjoyed what I was doing, because I could, like, you know, not take it too seriously. But there's something about the people they were matching me with that made it the sweatiest experience of my life. But maybe if I played on a new account, maybe if I smurfed. I think it's just because I was playing day one and it was just everyone else just who was day one, so it just didn't really it was putting me in like diamond tier. Like, it was putting me in like diamond tier plush effectively in matchmaking, when I'm like, I was good at Splatoon, but I just wasn't that good. I do not play Splatoon that seriously, and it was just putting me in way too serious of lobbies. Like, you might be like, but you were getting, like, you know, like really high KDs. Yeah, but I wasn't trying to get those KDs. I was playing casually the entire time when I was getting those KDs. Ooh. I play Splatoon for the fun, not for the sweat. And they threw me into the sweatiest rooms. Okay. Let's get this and this. The Brella with the mines was my favorite build, because you could zone control so hard. It was only good on specific maps, but the maps it was good on, it was uncontested the best weapon. People were like, this is a low tier weapon. It's like, no weapon is low tier, because like it depends on the map and what you're doing. Like, it depends on the map, what your opponent team is playing, and all sorts of things. And it's like, this is like one of the worst weapons in the game. People are saying that about this Brella, and I'm just like, if it was one of the worst weapons in the game, then I would not dominate on these maps. And it's like, oh, well, it's map specific. And it's like, a lot of weapons are map specific. If you like don't know, like, if you don't understand that, then you're not playing a variety of gear. You're just relying on like the spray and going like, well, here's the spray gun and it's this best thing. It's like, yeah, spray gun is literally just, you get a machine gun that just rips people apart at close range and is literally like the lowest, it's the lowest skill weapon, and they're like, oh, therefore it's high tier. No. No. No, like, high tier is like not high. Here's the thing. There's no such thing as high or low tier. Well, actually there is. But in a good balanced game like Splatoon 2, it's not a matter of weapons being high or low tier. What it comes down to is player capacity and skill level. Because you can make a low tier weapon if you know how to use it correctly and your team isn't shit. You can have a low tier weapon be S tier, like the Umbrella. Again, I could dominate zones, but if my team wasn't picking me up, if my team was just a bunch of dead weight, or they did not, or they played independently of what I was doing, like they either didn't back me up, or they just like, really, if I was just getting if the other team was just ganging up on me, I'd be screwed. But in that case, like, if you have 3 people going against 1 player, that's also kind of saying a lot about what I was doing. That out of a 4v4 game, I would have not 2/3. I'd have 3/4 of the enemy team at time just focus in on me if I had the Brella, and that's when I had to switch the Brella, because they're just like, you know what? Screw this guy in particular. All he's doing is he's just using the Brella to cover the map, walking slowly forward, throwing down mines behind him. So if we try to get behind him, that blows up. If we try to attack him when we push him back, he just goes behind his mines. We go over the mines, it blows up, and then he kills us. And it's just like, yeah, I'm just a Terminator, just walking slowly forward throughout the map. But if people can flank me, I'm boned. And so if my team doesn't have my back, I'm screwed. Ooh, but it'd take 3 of them. It took 3 of them. Halo 3, Battle Royale, best weapon. Wait, BR. BR is pretty broken. The DMR was just unbalanced shit. The DMR was the best weapon ever. Yeah, that's the problem. It was so good, it made it no reason to pick up other weapons. you want good weapon balance. And I could imagine weapons I would drop, and like I would drop the BR for. I can imagine there are weapons situationally I would drop. There is no situation in Halo Reach where I'm like, yeah, let me drop the DMR. No situation are you ever like, I'll drop the DMR. You're like, no, it doesn't matter what your other weapon is. It could be a rocket launcher. You're like, I'll drop the rocket launcher. You know, you're never dropping the DMR. There are situations where you will drop the BR for a different gun in Halo 3. Ooh. And the problem isn't the fact that they're like the DMR you would never drop. It's the fact that you spawn with the DMR. You don't want a weapon you spawn with that you never drop. If my top player is the #1 magic player, I would immediately listen to... Oh, yeah. Fuck. Absolutely. Oh, wait a minute. Correct? Okay, I rolled a dice, and I got it correct. Chat. This is a miracle has happened this day. I put these pieces on, and I put them on without checking them, and they're correct and going forward. I could have put these on backwards, but I put both on correct. At least the instructions say I do, because they say the double right here should be on the opposite end of this part sticking out, which I don't even know if you can see, but that little nubbin... You know what? Maybe this will be my build. Maybe every dog does have his day. This is a good stream because I've just been yapping more than building. Which you might think would be bad for, like, you know, a building stream, but I think it's good. I think it's good. I think it's good. I like yapping. Controversially, but you should snipe it. Ooh. But you shouldn't put a sniper in multiplayer shooter games. There are ways to balance it, like what they did in Halo Infinite, where they screwed up the design of the sniper rifle so it became one of the hardest weapons to use in the game. Mint Blitz still used it like an absolute champion, but it had a delay on the fire. The projectile speed, because all Halo guns have projectiles instead of all Halo guns are projectiles. It might be like, what about the Spartan laser? The Spartan laser is a projectile weapon. Like, no weapon, like, some weapons might seem like they're hit scan, but that's only because how they're coded. All weapons, including the Spartan laser, which literally fires like a hit scan weapon, and in lore is supposed to function like a hit scan weapon, is a projectile weapon, which is why, like, what it does is it fires a bunch of small projectiles in a beam, which is why you can get hit by the Spartan laser and not die if you're not, like, fully hit by it, but you can get a lot of health taken off. But sniper rifles, it depends. I think Halo does a good job. Halo does, like, arena games, I think you can have sniper rifles, because it really depends how you balance them. If you make them, like, a sniper rifle where you have to be really keen, have to stay in place to shoot it, because if you don't, it's just not going to have any accuracy, and so you have to make yourself vulnerable while shooting it, there's ways to balance it. You know, or in an arena shooter case like Halo, it's a power weapon, so it's super rare. It is, so it's like already meant to be overpowered, the sniper rifle in Halo. It has very limited ammo. Its magazine is very small. There are ways to balance it. It's just that when you make it a normal gun that somebody carries, or you make it function like any other gun, yeah, no, you shouldn't, because now it's just like a super strong rifle, and there's no penalty to using it. Why wouldn't I just use the better rifle? Like, there are ways to balance it, but you have to make it effectively have cost to it, or make it be a power weapon. Not magic, but magique. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't pronounce it, you know, like an Eastern European. The cousin of the cousin of Colossus. His name is Colossus, also Peter, you know. We respect Colossus. We don't just call him the metal guy. We call him, his name is Colossus. He's based and cool. Colossus is cool. The thing that is snipers by design have a very high potential ceiling, so if you're proficient enough you can just bulldoze everything. Yeah, that's why Mint Blitz uses them. Mint Blitz is highly proficient with sniper rifles and can just decimate with them. Ooh. But at the same time, I don't see that as too big of a problem, because, like, typically I don't play against people who are on the level of Mint Blitz. Ooh. And also the Halo Infinite Sniper, again, is borked. Maybe they fixed it, but yeah, they literally, it was desynced, if I remember correctly. They just messed up. They just messed up on the Halo Infinite. It wasn't balanced, it was just broken, but in a bad way. Traditionally, the Halo Sniper Rifle is wonderfully broken. Actually, low-key, don't use the scope on the Halo Sniper Rifle if you're playing on PC, specifically if you're playing the Master Chief Collection. It's easier to hit targets if you don't scope in. On mouse and keyboard, the Halo Sniper Rifle is disgustingly broken without scope. On scope, the sensitivity and the... well, just the sensitivity changes on the scope, and it can throw you off. You can change it to normal sensitivity, but it's just easier just to no-scope. You can no-scope people across the map with the Halo 3 Sniper Rifle on mouse and keyboard. That thing becomes nasty. And you might be like, well, why isn't it, like, broken in the original game? Or, like, on controller? Because on controller, you don't have the fine control that you have on PC with, like, mouse and stick. You do have like auto aim, you have aim assist and whatnot built into it, but that's only if you have like a red reticle. If you have a red reticle, you will have aim assist in Halo to compensate for the fact that you're playing on a controller. But that means you have to be zoomed in. But with the sniper rifle, you have to be zoomed in to have that. And if you're zoomed in, you're not going to be, you know, doing strafing as much, so you're going to be more vulnerable because you're not moving around as much. But on mouse and keyboard, you don't have that issue. You don't have any aim assist, so you're just firing off the hip anyways. And, well, you still have aim assist, because this is baked into Halo 3. But you still have, but what it is this fact that you don't need the red reticle. You don't need the red reticle, you have greater control, it's just broken. It is disgusting how broken the Halo sniper rifle is on mouse and keyboard. It is disgusting. Lol, I remember when one of the older Battlefield games had forgot to set slugs correctly for shotguns, so they had no bullet drop. Jesus Christ, that is... I hope this was when they could update games, and so they could be like, let's take that away. Oh my god. That sounds like a nightmare. Sounds like a fun shotgun, but that sounds like a nightmare. Gonna do something controversial. I'm gonna turn my Star Wars Battlefront 2 into Halo. I've done that before. The mod was incomplete though, so it didn't turn out too well. I don't care. He didn't agree on Deadpool's advances. What the... what? I have already forgotten that context. I'm sorry. What time are we at? We're at 3 hours. So we have the arms. We don't have the specific side arms. We can do that next stream. We have those. Wait a minute. This is the right arm. Where's the left arm? So you know what we should do this stream is make sure that we have all the pieces for next stream. Chat, where are the other pieces? There it is. It's under a clear bag. It's under a transparent bag. No wonder I couldn't see it. But here's the other one. You know what? Wait, no. Yes, we can build the shoulder pad early. So I'm just going to build the shoulder pad. I'm going to build the shoulder pad now because I want to show it off. One thing I'm kind of wondering is for this shoulder pad, if I should paint this part like khaki. I want to paint this part, but I'm not sure what it should be. I'm really, really out of sorts trying to figure it out. I feel like if I paint it khaki, it would put too much weight, because then we'd have khaki on this shoulder, and this one would be solid gray. I shouldn't paint it khaki. I just realized why. I shouldn't paint it khaki, because these parts are khaki already. The ends of this are khaki, and the other side is going to be copper. I haven't painted it yet, so we're not going to put those in. But it should stay metal. It should stay metal. I'm happy I figured that out on stream, because if I wasn't on stream, I would have just been like, let me experiment. But because I'm talking out loud and I'm thinking, yeah. Yeah, that would have been a really bad idea. Oh no, don't worry. We found it. We found it. Oh, I need to paint these. It's gonna be really difficult to paint these Verniers, but I'll just show you what I, not this one. I'll show you here. What I want to do is I want to do the Verniers pretty much throughout it like this, because this turned out so well. Like having the khaki for like the, for here, both the khaki and the bronze with the red in the center. I think that looks amazing. And I think that turned out really well. Also, by the way, this was all freehand. Again, thank you. I believe it was Neon Wave. I hope I'm not thanking the wrong person for the toothpick method. It is saving my life so much. But this is all freehand, and I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of it. I am really proud of how clean this came out. Ooh. But I want to do this for like all the Verniers. But these smaller Verniers are really hard to do, and I don't think I have a brush that's small enough. So I might have to do it after I build it, because I need like one of those tiny brushes that they use to like do up the like miniatures for like real grades. It's just too small. I need like one of those like focusing in glasses. I need one of those like magnifying glasses that people put on. It's just so small, but I want to paint it. I want to go that extra distance for this kit. Yeah, it's been 3 or 4, but it was 3 or 4, but it was oh, okay, long time I think. It's 3 or 4, but it was there for a long time. In games like COD where you just equip sniper. Yeah, in COD sniper rifles are fucking disgustingly broken in that regard. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Like in a power weapon. I was kind of thinking like Battlefield, to my understanding, you do have to like lock in to use sniper rifles, at least traditionally. Like you couldn't just do like, it wasn't a Twitch shooter. It wasn't like you could just run with a sniper rifle and blow some guy away, or like, oh no, you have to stand still for like half a second, then the reticle is no longer expanded, you know? Which is just like, in such a fast game, yeah, that half second is a while, but like, whatever. It's not that much of a while for the game. Ooh, in COD's never seemed like a balanced game. It's just, I don't like the time to kill in COD games. It's so quick. I love in Halo, the fact that in Halo, Splatoon, and games like that, where like you get shot at, you have a window to be like, just like do a sidestep or duck down or do something to get out of the line of fire, turn around, and then blow their head off. That feeling is one of the most satisfying feelings in game, turning around and destroying the person who was like, I have the drop on you. It's so satisfying. And in Call of Duty, the time to kill is just, I know you can do that in Call of Duty, but there's just no dance. In Halo, every kill is a dance. Every kill is you strafing and jumping and, you know, trying to like it's all a dance against the opponent. In Splatoon, everything is a dance where you're jumping in and out of like, you know, the ink and trying to get a better advantage over your other player. I just don't like quick time to kill games. I love games where you maneuver around. I love games where you jump around, where you dance with your opponent. It's so satisfying to me. It's complete now. Remember that the Deadpool would give calluses on head. I am just lost. I know we're talking about Marvel Rivals, but I don't know anything about Marvel Rivals outside of the most basic stuff. And I don't know if you're referring to that. It does look good. Lightsaber goes swish and slash. Oh, that actually reminds me. I love how the beam saber for this kit, I don't have it cut out yet. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It's right here. It just looks like a Star Wars lightsaber, and I low-key love it. Like, look at that. Look at that. It looks like a hand light. It looks like a flashlight. It looks like a torch, as the English would say. But it looks like a flashlight, which is just what Star Wars lightsabers were. If you want to design a really good Star Wars lightsaber, just go with an old industrial flashlight that doesn't have a super big head, but one of those flashlights that have like really thick bodies because they have super big batteries, and then like the light is really focused, so it has a smaller head, and just build from there. Because that's literally how the original lightsabers were designed. They were literally just those with some gribblies put on. That's how the original lightsabers were designed. They were just flashlight handles, effectively. You will make some of the coolest lightsabers that way. Every now they want to be like, oh, we have like now like custom like lightsabers made from scratch. No. You gotta make them industrial and look like some guy just put them together. Because they did. That's how Jedi do. Jedi literally put the lightsabers together themselves. Ooh. And for somebody like Count Dooku having fancy lightsaber handles, I need to end the stream, but I want to talk about Count Dooku's lightsabers. Makes sense because he is an aristocrat. So it shows how above everything is. He has curved handles. He has artisan lightsabers because it reflects on his character. But then you have Anakin, who has that industrial lightsaber. And mind you, this was made after the fact. This is the resources they had. But you have Anakin with his more industrial lightsaber design because he's a mechanic. You know, it flows into the characterization of the Star Wars characters. And it's so important when, like, writers remember that. But a lot of times they just go like, just make it look however, just make it look cool. It is a way to communicate the character, even if accidentally, even if after the fact, like in like the original lightsaber of Anakin Skywalker. It is such a good way to communicate the character. And it's so underused. Ooh. The Deadpool movie. Oh, I've seen all three of those. They're okay. First one was the best one. Second one had its moments, but was like, it kind of felt like a retreading of the first one without a meaningful advancement. It did advance like what the first one did, but it didn't feel like a meaningful evolution. It felt like two stories of the same character, but not one story building off it. It felt like two comic books, you know, where both are their own standalone stories. And you might say, oh, it's a comic book movie. Yeah, but in film, you're supposed to build off the last one a little more. And they did build off the character, don't get me wrong. It just didn't feel like a direct sequel. It just felt like another story in the same character's life. And then the third one was pretty much the same thing. In that regard, Deadpool is one of the greatest comic book movies ever made, because it is literally like a comic book where each issue or movie is like just a different story that is borderline unconnected, but still progresses the character in some way. In that regard, on a meta level, it's actually one of the better comic book trilogies, but I don't think that was intentional. I think they were just winging it and having a fun time. Just got a Lego lightsaber hilt. Ooh, I love classic Lego lightsaber hilts. We have Sidious lightsaber, which made out of cortosis. Again, which tells us a lot about him. It tells us that he wants, you know, for one thing, a one-of-a-kind lightsaber. Like, he never wants to be disarmed, because one of the biggest dangers in lightsaber dueling is getting your lightsaber taken from you and then your opponent just cutting it in half. It's very hard to do that, and it's very risky to do that, and like, you have to outstrip your opponent massively to do that. But if there is even a lapse in focus during a fight, it's possible for that to happen. So the fact that he would have the precaution that, like, his lightsaber cannot be destroyed shows a very paranoid but cautious mindset. It shows somebody who plans for every eventuality, which is very important. The fact that he would plan for the eventuality of, what if somebody tried to destroy my lightsaber? What if I lost my lightsaber in the fight and they tried to destroy it? And he's like, they can't. You know? Like, it goes to show just how many steps ahead Sidious is. It tells us about his character. I need to end stream. Oh yeah, also shows that he's arrogant. That he's like, I'm going to use the rarest material in all the galaxy to build my lightsaber. I'm going to build the one material that's antithetical to lightsabers is what my lightsaber is going to be built out of. It is literally saying that nothing can stop him. It's also a massive ego statement. The fact that he made his lightsaber out of the one thing that is antithetical to lightsabers. Ooh. which is also a statement on his belief that lightsabers were obsolete, that he didn't, in at least Legends, he did not care for lightsaber combat because he believed that Force sorcery was far more important in Legends. That Force sorcery was far more powerful because in a lightsaber, what can you do with a lightsaber? You can cut a dude in half. With Force sorcery, what can you do? You can literally take out entire star fleets if you are powerful enough in the dark side. And it's like, in that regard, he's not wrong. You can cloud the entire mind of the Jedi, you know, as a single individual with Force sorcery. You know, like he was like, this is the most powerful, you know, part of the Force is sorcery. You know, because you can just, like lightsaber, you can take out one guy at a time. With Force sorcery, you can take out the entire Jedi Order, and he did. Yeah. However, he was also really skilled in the lightsaber. Because what, like 4 Jedi came up to him and was like, well, we're gonna arrest you for being a Sith Lord. And he took out 3 of them in like 5 seconds. And the one the only one he had trouble with was Mace Windu, who is considered one of, if not the greatest lightsaber duelist in all of Star Wars history in Legends. Who's literally the best duelist in Star Wars history. And so, like, he held his ground as, like, an 80-year-old man against, I don't know how old he was in the prequels, but you know what I mean. He held his own against the greatest duelist in history for long enough for Anakin to save his life. It's like, Jesus Christ, like, Palpatine low-key is terrifyingly powerful. Yeah, Darth Nihilus also believed that. Darth Nihilus is a play on nihilism, which is a good one. It's a good one. I like the Old Republic names for Darths because they're so good. You know, they're at least a little bit more subtle than Darth Tyrannus or Darth Sidious. He's insidious, guys. Fuck me, I almost said Luke. Fuck me, Lucas. Oh my god, he is this. Oh my god, is there any new names? Jar Jar has to be a play on something. I have to figure out how he came up with the name Jar Jar. Ooh. Oh my god. It might have been as simple as he just saw a jar of peanut butter and a jar of jam, and he's like, I have it. This isn't Tolkien levels where it's like, let me combine multiple dialects to make this name. And like, you know, the symbolism and meaning of the character. It's not that deep with Lucas. Lucas just saw the first thing that comes to mind. He's like, that's the character's name. He runs solo, Han Solo. Fucking done. Oh god, it's like a dog man. What do dogs like? They like Chewy toys. We'll name him Chewy. Fucking god, I don't know how he does it. He's a master namer. I need to find a place to send you people out to. Let me find a place to to link out to on Twitch first. We went very long today. We just kept talking about the most pointless shit. Darth Jar Jar. Ooh. God. Ooh. He gave all the power to, like, you know, Sidious. That shows that he's evil. No, it shows that it shows that Sidious manipulated him. It shows that Padme was an idiot because she was like, let me trust, you know, one of the most important Senate seats in the entire Galactic Republic to Jar Jar Binks. Padme's one of the dumbest people in all. Real talk. Padme's an idiot. Okay, she fell in love with Anakin when this guy literally was like, I committed genocide, and she's like, you know what? I think this is a keeper. No, Padme. The guy who just told you he committed genocide is not a keeper. You know, and then she's like, you know what? I'll trust Jar Jar with, you know, my Senate seat. It's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Here's Atya Tepis for Twitch. I just went with Atya because, you know what? It's so late. Let me find somewhere on YouTube to send you beautiful people out to. Okay, I don't have an actively going poll. Can't keep distracting Merrick from ending stream quick. Give me a hand. He's a funny little guy, Jar Jar. He's a funny little guy, Jar Jar, you know. The kids will love him, and he wasn't wrong. The kids did love him. To be fair, the kids did love Jar Jar Binks. He was not wrong on that. The problem is, nobody the frick else loved Jar Jar. As a kid, I liked Jar Jar Binks. then my balls dropped and I was like, oh shit, I was a dumb kid. Oh my god. Thanks for stream. You have a great rest of your night. We're not doing anything on Tuesday. I'm just gonna be watching my old streams and clipping the last clips for the compilation next week. I might release a short, but it might just be a recut if I do release one. Ooh, but let me find a place on YouTube to send you beautiful, beautiful people out to. I might just send you to Atya as well, but I'm not sure. God, everyone got hit by that winter storm. I thought it was just like the northern U.S., but like even in Florida, it was like below freezing. Florida, Alabama, everyone got boned over. Screw it, I'm just gonna send you both to Atya. Okay, so here's Atya. I want you guys all to have a great day and a wonderful life, and I'll see you on Wednesday where we will be finishing this kit. I know you might be like, dude, you finished, like, you didn't even get halfway through this kit and it took you 3 hours. Yeah, but that's because, like, I was yapping and I was prepping. It takes me forever to prep on stream. Off stream, I can prep really fast, actually. Like, all the painting I did, I almost did all of that painting. Actually, I did almost all that painting on Sunday, but I did a lot of the painting just before stream. It's just on stream, I just cannot paint and talk at the same time. It is just impossible. But I'll see you guys on Wednesday while we'll continue this build. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good life. Jesus Christ. Sorry, the person in the next room just turned on the TV and they had the volume on max. Bye-bye. There's Twitch, and here goes YouTube.